Hi and welcome to the 2017 Red Bull Car Park Drift live from Kuwait City on a sunny but windy Friday. Get ready for an intense 2 hours of drifting live across the world, streaming on redbull.com, on the Red Bull Facebook page, on Twitch, and on YouTube. My name is Brent Black, and we have 15 drivers competing to be the 2017 King of Drift. This will be the 10th King of Drift champion. Last year in Oman, an Omani won. He was only 18 years old. Who will be King of Drift today? Only time will tell. 13 drifters qualified from across the Middle East and Africa. And today we do have 2 wildcard drifters. 13 nationalities are represented today. We have 3 finalists here from Kuwait. That is a privilege of the host country. And we do have 1 female driver here today, and we will be talking to her in a bit. Now, if you're following us on social media, use the hashtag Red Bull Car Park Drift. Big thanks to our sponsors, Falcon Tires, Shop and Ship, Total, and PS4. As we get prepared to meet our drivers, we will have 3 heats today. We will begin with all 15 drivers competing. The top 8 will move on to round number 2, and finally, the final 4 will compete for King of Drift. It's a cool day here in Kuwait. It's about 17 degrees. That will be the high today as we are in December. And very windy. That could have an effect on the handling of these cars today. Also, the temperature, since it's somewhat low, that's going to help things. Going to keep those engines cold because they tend to run high. And if you overheat, your day is probably over. We got a sellout crowd here today, completely packed stadium. And here we go with the drivers, beginning off with Lebanon, Sari Zahalan, your drifter from Lebanon. He'll be driving the BMW E46 as he hoists that Lebanese flag high. Coming from the UAE, Mohammed Hassan Al-Mansouri. He'll be in the Nissan Silvia. Salman Abdullah, he represents Bahrain. Also a Nissan Silvia. A lot of drivers choosing the Nissan Silvia this year. And there you have the female driver. She lives in the UAE. She's Palestinian. Noor Daoud. Great story. She is our wild card, one of our wild cards today. She's in the BMW E46. Nassim Saad from Tunisia in a BMW E36. As he trots across the circuit, joining the other drivers. Your 6th driver of the day, Abdullah Al-Jadi. He's Kuwaiti. He's one of our 3 Kuwaiti finalists. Driver number 7 from Morocco, Abdulatif Ist Mansour. In the 7th car, drifting today. Drifter number 8, Mohammed Sorabeli. He's from Mauritius. Driver 9 is Rafat al-Yahyaei. He is from Oman. Oman hoping to repeat. Different driver, hoping the same country will be the King of Drift. Driver number 10, Atman Tukriti from Jordan in the BMW E46. The 11th driver from Egypt, Ahmad Hamada Bakhit. Another of our Kuwaiti finalists today, Fahad Al-Jadi. Strutting his stuff, getting some love from the crowd. From Kuwait also, and he finished first in Kuwait in the qualifiers, Ali Maksi doing the Toyota GT86. Your 14th driver, Abdulrahman Fakhru from Qatar. as you get a look at our judges. And your 15th and final driver. Shahab Bishanidar from Iran, our final wild card drifter. And there you have it, your 15 drifters for the 2017 Red Bull Car Park Drift. Many of these guys just started out in their own garages with a dream, and that's the great thing about the Red Bull Car Park Drift. It's something you can create in your own garage. And this circuit today is a smaller circuit than any of these drivers have competed on this year. And that's going to cause some interesting, well, let's call them challenges for the drifting action today. A smaller circuit, of course, means tighter turns, maybe a little bit harder to keep those drifts going. And certainly some of the challenges around the track, for example, the boxes or the pendulum. A tight turn can make all the difference whether you move on to the next round or not. There will be several obstacles today that the drifters will have to get through. There are 2 gates. There's a pendulum, which is this big red ball. You'll see it right there on the right side of your screen if you can make that out. Drifters actually have to drift into the back of the car with that and make that pendulum swing around. Always fun to watch. There are 2 boxes. The drifters have to get into the box and drift in a circle around a barrel. You've got the final spiral, which you get a look at drifting legend Abdo Fghali. He's also the sports director for the Red Bull Car Park Drift. Very fun guy. He's Lebanese. He holds the world record for the longest drift. And this will not be his fastest around this particular circuit. He was taking some lucky winners on some taxi rides where he was doing his thing in a much faster, I believe it was a Nissan 350Z, emblazoned with the Red Bull logo all over it. This particular vehicle, quite a bit slower. Abdo Fghali. I believe he's going to be making away. See, this is the figure 11 Abdo is going through. Drifters have to make pretty much the same path, at least, that Abdo is doing, just a bit faster and a bit more sideways as he gets through that figure 11. What were my other obstacles? We were talking about the spiral, the final spiral, which we'll get to eventually, very slowly, as Abdo also, is that Instagram story or Snapchat? I'm going to guess Instagram story. There's also donuts throughout the track. As Abdo waves to an appreciative crowd. I've been in a car with Abdo as he drifts. It is a completely alien experience. I was in the front seat. I believe my kidneys, my liver were in the back seat. Because it's fast, it's loud, it's sideways. It's a lot of fun. But please don't try this at home. Very tempting to drift. Well, you can try this, what you're seeing now. You can try this at home. Abdo making his way through about the middle part of the circuit. He's going to hit the pendulum, I believe. He's coming up on that pendulum. Let's see if he can get it. Now, you're supposed to get this on the back fender, but I think he's just going to, head on. You got it, though. You got that pendulum. Making his way close to where we're sitting. We're sitting above the circuit as we're looking down. It looks like he's going to pick up a passenger, and that is trackside announcer Faraz. He's doing the trackside Arabic announcing here in Kuwait City today. And they will continue on with the circuit. This will be the 10th King of Drift. The first King of Drift was in 2008. Michel Fghali, I believe a cousin to Abdo, who's currently driving very slowly on the track. He was the first King of Drift. In fact, the first 4 King of Drift finals were held in Lebanon. All won by Lebanese until 2011, when Syed Al Mouri, Saudi national, won that one. And eventually made its way to Oman last year. Haitham Al-Hadidi, 18-year-old Omani. As you get a look at the box, this is the box. You don't want to spend a lot of time in that box. Abdo is definitely taking his time around the circuit. I don't know, has anyone told him that we have a Red Bull Car Park King of Drift final today? I don't know. Somebody get a message down to Abdo that we need to get a move on. We've got drivers ready to drift. Who will be the 2017 King of Drift? That is why we're here in Kuwait City. You can find us on, well, pretty much every social media, at Red Bull on Facebook. If you'd like to send us a message here in Kuwait, on Instagram and on Twitter, at Red Bull Kuwait. Use the hashtag Red Bull Car Park Drift. If you're talking about us on social media today, either on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and Abdo making his way, I think, eventually going to find his way back to the pit row where all of our drifters are currently hanging out. I think they're waiting for perhaps a chance to compete. As for us, the trackside announcer does an impromptu interview, passing by the broadcast booth, and the judges getting a quick look at things. Faraz makes his way out of the car. As we get ready for 15 drifters in round 1 here in Kuwait City. And here we are. I believe we are ready to go. With drifter number 1, we have a good look at him. It's Sari Zahalan from Lebanon. As he gets ready, he puts that racing hood on. These look like somewhat normal automobiles you'd see on the road, but everything under the hood, that's something completely different. These cars are finely tuned machines and need to be able to handle all the stresses that a drifter will put on it, and there are a lot of stresses. Interestingly, the tires, I'm told, are pretty much a standard type of tire that you would put on a car. Sometimes there are chemicals applied to the tires to do one of two things, either smoke more or smoke in a particular color, because smoking does earn you points. The judges, there you go, Johannes, he and his brother, Elias, are known as the Brothers of Drift. Alexander Grinchuk from the Ukraine. And there's Elias going to stand up. Now, the Drift Brothers. I said the Brothers of Drift. The Drift Brothers. Elias waves to the crowd. And from here in Kuwait, we do have one local judge. He puts his hand up. Khaled El Mudaf. So get ready for Sari. And the first car to get us going here in the 2017 Red Bull Car Park Drift. Getting a look, well, getting a look there at Sorry, but getting a look at the officials who give the go-ahead. And I believe, Sorry, and the BMW 316 has been given, and the Red Bull Car Park Drift 2017 is underway as Sorry does some great-looking donuts right out of the gate. He's going to come around and get to this figure 11, putting off some great smoke. As I said, that is important. The judges love to see, or I guess not see, the car with all the smoke. Now the challenge around these curves is to keep it sideways. Sorry, doing a pretty good job. Doing an excellent job there getting around that curve. All the cars were judged by aesthetics. Those points, as he gets to the pendulum, and I believe he got that pendulum. It was so fast in the monitor I couldn't see that. I'm pretty sure Sorry nailed that pendulum into the first box. Takes out a couple of gates. That will cost him some points, and he wasn't sideways coming out of it. That's a difficult-looking exchange there for Sorry. This car is extremely loud, if you can hear that, as we lose him in the smoke. Sorry Zahalan from Lebanon, coming around the backside and into that second box. Much better on the second box. Handled that very well. He's going to have two gates here. There's one, and barely got that second gate. That's important. Into those donuts. Very nice. Very, very well executed on that donut from the gate. And now he's going to be coming around to the spiral. Getting through this spiral is a challenge because of all the traffic cones. You don't want to hit any cone. You will lose 2 points for every cone you knock down. And let's see how Sorry does here as he wraps up his run on heat number 1. And there will be a gate, and once you hit that gate, a little surprise. And there you go. That's the gate to let you out, as he gives a couple extra donuts, and Sorry Zahalan, a pretty good run to kick off the 2017 King of Drift here at the Red Bull Car Park Drift in Kuwait. As we get a look at his run. Really the only real issues, the serious issues I think Sorry had there, at least I'm not a judge, so it doesn't matter what I think. My opinion means nothing here. But his biggest problems were in the box. That first box, he took out some of the barriers. And there you go. You got a quick look at that pendulum. He did hit that pendulum. So he's going to get a pretty good score here as the judges put the numbers together. And I believe the score is coming soon, as we get to Mohammed Al-Mansouri from the UAE, driver number 2. Drifting out of Ras Al Khaimah, one of the northernmost emirates in the UAE. 27 years old. Beautiful Nissan Silvia. A lot of drivers today in the Nissan Silvia.
بيولد 690 حصان. محضر السيارة في رأس الخيمة في كراج جودزيلا، وهو نفسه الممول السبونسر الخاص بمحمد المنصوري.
لا ننتقل حق محمد المنصوري وقبل ما يبتدي معنا. المفروض ان الجمهور يوجه لاهل الامارات والممثل اليوم لهم معنا في هذه البطوله، وتحديدا الشاب محمد المنصوري من الامارات. نبي نسمع له تحيه جمهورنا الكريم. وين تحيتكم له؟ التسجيل حق محمد. محمد جاهز، احنا جاهزين وبانتظارك تدخل داخل حلبة وتورينا المهارات اللي عندك لتحافظ على النتائج اللي تعودنا.
It's a smaller track than usual for the car park drift. A lot of the drivers may not be used to that kind of confined drifting. And this is going to make the car less important. And it's more important that the driver be skilled in drifting. The car can only take you so far.
especially with these very tight turns.
أعزائنا الأرقام لن نعطيها الآن، سنعطيها بعد نهاية الفترة حتى يعني نخلي الحماس والإثارة.
Mohammed Al-Mansouri getting ready for his run, the 2017 Red Bull Car Park Drift.
البطولة أول شكل السيارة وتصميمها عندنا 40 نقطة. الآن إذا سيخرج إلى أرض المسار محمد المنصوري. نترككم إذا مع الاستعراض الرائع للسائق الإماراتي محمد
When
المنصوري.
he drifts, he wants to isolate himself from all of his surroundings and just concentrate as he goes through that figure 11. Again, it's not about speed. As you can see, it's not a race. It's about concentrating on keeping that car in a sideways drift. And he did not want to do that. You don't want to stop. Anything but that. Got some decent smoke off the tires. Mohammed Al-Mansouri out of the UAE, looking to be one of the 8. He did get that pendulum. It looked like he hit it pretty hard. Almost sent it flying. Box number 1. Gets around it, not too bad. It's a difficult one there to get the right amount of speed and drift to do a full drift around that barrel. Around that turn. Getting into that, and not quite the angle he wanted to hit on that donut, but not too bad getting out of it. There is the gate. Hits the gate very well, very nice. Into that donut. Couldn't have done that one much better. That was very well executed. Here we go into the final spiral, hoping to get that gate. Trying his best not to hit any of those cones, because that will cost you points. And speaking of costing you points, like the cones were his enemy. Mohammed Al-Mansouri out of the UAE.
ونحن بانتظار الاستعراض من سائق السيارة رقم 3
نيسان
من
سيلفيا
مملكة البحرين الشقيقة سلمان محمود عبد الله. طبعا اعطيكم النقاط اللي راح يحصل عليها السائقين. شكل السيارة وتصميمها 40 نقطة، الدخان المتصاعد من الإطارات 20 نقطة، صوت السيارة هناك 20 نقطة، القسم الأول من مسار الانجراف 60 نقطة، القسم الثاني من الانجراف أيضا 60 نقطة، والبوكس
Abdullah out of Bahrain.
البوابات عندنا 70 نقطة، البندول يعني اللي بيضرب بالطابة أو بالكرة 50 نقطة، وسبيرل عندنا 20 نقطة. كنا أيضا قد حدثناكم عن الحكام، عندنا 4 حكام أعزائنا. أعطيكم لمحة سريعة عن الحكام، حكام حدث اليوم. من الكويت عندنا خالد المضف، هو أول سائق كويتي حائز على رخصة تسابق معترف بها من قبل الاتحاد الدولي للسيارات FIA. عشق خالد بالتسابق والسيارات ابتدأ كهواية عندما أو أثناء تحصيله الدراسي في ولاية بوسطن الأمريكية في عام 2001. من بعدها تحولت هوايته إلى مسيرة احترافية مترامية الأطراف ومشاركات في مختلف دول العالم. حبه وشغفه للسيارات قاده لتطوير أعمال خاصة في هذا المجال. عنده طبعا جي فورس هو مكانه وكراج مرآب متخصص في الرسم اير برش، وايضا هنالك ميكانيكيون متخصصون في تعديل وتضبيط السيارات. ايضا من الحكام اليوم عندنا إلياس هونتونجي من مواليد العام 85، هو أصغر ب5 سنوات من شقيقه دورانيس. إلياس لم يكتشف عشقه وحبه لسباقات الدرفتنج إلا في خلال العام 2009. طبعا راح أحدثكم عنه بعد قليل، ولكن الآن سننتقل إذا إلى السيارة رقم 3 مع السائق سلمان محمود عبد الله.
Mohammed coming into this race very confident. He said he definitely has what it takes to win the final today. Let's see if he can even get to the top 8. Salman Abdullah out of Bahrain, your third drifter.
ما سمعنا التحية حق أهل البحرين والمنامة واللي يمثلهم اليوم معنا.
Again in a Nissan Silvia. See lots of those today.
إن شاء الله بهذه التحية نشوفه يقدم مستوى عالي لا يقل عن المستوى اللي شفناه قبل شوي. وأكيد بلجنة التحكيم اللي عندهم إمكانية تقييم المتسابقين راح نشوف النتائج بعد قليل. وسلمان بدأ معنا.
والآن إذا ابتدأ سلمان محمود عبد الله.
through the figure 11. Salman says he also was inspired to take up drifting after playing video games and watching it on Japanese television. Drifting, very popular in Japan for years. Still a huge sport today. As they come by the first box, just took a little pause there. Maybe throw it in reverse. We have our first reverse of the day, I do believe. Not something that reverse is not a gear you ever want to get into in the Red Bull Car Park Drift. Salman hoping to do better on this box. Did brush the barrier a little bit, but actually went through that box pretty well. He'll lose some points for hitting that barrier though. Trying to get that gate. Got the gate. Into the donut. Salman from Bahrain trying to finish up strong. To the spiral. Not bad. And got the gate there at the end. Took out a couple of cones just because. Salman. Abdullah, Bahrain. Who was the first drifter in Bahrain, completes his first run through the 2017 Red Bull Car Park Drift, heads back to the paddock.
ايضا هو يملك اسرع سياره دراكستر في الشرق الاوسط مزوده في علبه تروس عاديه يعني مانيوال جير بوكس. توقعاته عندما سالته عن السباق والنتيجه اليوم.
Thank you for everyone watching us at redbull.com and on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch as we stream live across the world from Kuwait City. Use the hashtag Red Bull Car Park Drift in your social media. We see you. We love you.
السائقة التي ابتدأت في عام 2009 سباقات السرعة في مدينة رام الله الفلسطينية.
Your drifter number 4, you gotta love her story. Noor Daoud from Palestine, our only female driver today.
بتشارك على سيارة BMW E46 المحرك.
She is the wild card from Palestine, selected by Red Bull. Didn't exactly have the same opportunities as many of the other drivers to get into one of the qualifiers, and she is very skilled, as you can see. So Red Bull thought, hey, she deserves a spot. She deserves a chance to become king of drift. And I gotta tell you, she's looking really good at the beginning of her run. Noor Daoud, showing that the girls can do it just as well as the guys. She's going to head into this first box. Not bad. Very nice around that curve. A little straight there. I want to keep that sideways. Coming back to box number 2. Gonna have to pick up a little bit of speed. Ooh, not bad at all through that second box. Not the judge, but oh, did she get it? I believe she just barely nipped that last gate. I think she did get that. We're gonna have to see from the judges' score. Noor Daoud, the only female in this year's Red Bull Car Park Drift as she heads into the spiral. A little straight there. Gotta get it more sideways. A couple of cones. Will she get that last gate? She does, as she wraps up her first
تحية
in the
خاصة
car park
لنور
drift.
داوود فلسطين، هذه الشابة اللي شفناها اليوم قدمت عرض استعراضي جميل رائع جدا، وان شاء الله يا رب نشوفها متواجدة في النهائيات.
Noor says her
طبعاً
biggest supporter
هذه
is
ليست غريبة على
her
أرض
mother.
فلسطين أن تقدم هذه النماذج العربية المشرفة. قاعد نشوفها اليوم نافست وقدمت، لكن تحية الجمهور لها ما كانت
She
مرضية.
also says
جمهورنا
before
العزيز
every race
جاءت
she
إلينا من
does
فلسطين
kickboxing,
الكرامة والعروبة، وتحديدا في هذا اليوم
gain
نسمع لها
focus
أقوى
for the
تحية.
competition.
تحية خاصة لك وعلى إبداعك. والآن ينضم معنا المتسابق رقم 5 نسيم سعد من تونس خضراء، اللي راح أيضا يورينا مجموعة من المواهب كما عودنا الشباب اللي شفناهم قبل قليل. أنتقل لك فراس مرة ثانية.
شكرا عزيزي أحمد. وبالفعل شاهدنا
is on
تأدية
deck.
رائعة من قبل السائقة الفلسطينية نور داوود. الآن نحن نتحضر إذن لخروج السائق التونسي نسيم سعد. نسيم سعد 30 سنة، ابتدأ عام 2014، هو بطل تونس في سباقات الدرفتنج في عام 2015-2017. ذكر لنا انه كل سنه عم بيشارك نسيم في نهائيات الردبول، وكانت للاسف سيارته تتعطل. هذه السنه صارت الامور معه على خير ما يرام، وهذا ما اوصله الى هنا. عم بيشارك على سياره BMW E36 المحرك تواجد 2JZ قادر على توليد 630 حصان. هذه السيارة راح يقودها اليوم نسيم، ليست السيارة اللي بيشارك فيها بتونس. يستعد إذا نسيم في هذه الأثناء للخروج إلى أرض الحلبة على سيارة إذا BMW E36.
Nassim Saad from Tunisia is on his run in the 2017 Red Bull Car Park Drift. Around that first donut through to the figure 11. Nissan Silvia? No, he's driving the BMW. Check that, the BMW E36. So many Nissans today. The rare BMW. As he nails that pendulum like it owed him money. Comes around, as you can tell, our broadcast booth right next to these boxes. Gets around the first box okay. They definitely want to see a full donut, a full sideways donut in those boxes. I've not seen a lot of that. It's a difficult, tight track. This is a small track, smaller than these drivers are used to. The qualifying rounds all had much larger tracks and more space to get that sideways drifting action. Not bad at all through that box. Nassim Saad did not see if he, I believe he did graze that gate. Difficult to see on the camera. And into the final. If you get through this final spiral, you hit the gate. And he did. Really thought that gate was going to be more difficult, but I believe every driver thus far has hit that final gate. Which is good, because there's actually a gate there that will trap them. It'll be very embarrassing if they have to get out of the car and open it themselves.
فعلا النماذج اللي قاعد نشوفها والشباب المشاركين في بطولة النهائي لردبول كار بارك درفت اليوم تميزت بهذه النقطة
as we wait
كل الدول العربية. ارجع لك فراس اسمع رايك باللي قاعد نشوفها من مواهب، والمتسابق القادم من وين راح يكون؟
In the lead is driver number 1.
شاهدنا نسيم سعد اللي قام باستئجار سيارة من الأردن
322
من وثيق
points.
بطة. والآن نحن بانتظار أعزائنا خروج السائق الكويتي. تحية كبيرة لعبد الله جدي.
296 points for
عبد الله 24 سنة، ابتدأ
Daoud in at
في عام
third
2015 يعني قبل أقل من عامين. مسيرته كلها مع الدرفتنج. قبلها كان مشارك في سباقات الجيت سكي. عام 2015 حصل على المركز الأول مرتين في بطولة الكويت للدرفتنج في فئة الستريت والمبتدئين. وفي أيضا نفس البطولة حصل على لقب بطل موسم الكويت في فئة الستريت. عام 2016 لم يحقق للأسف الإنجازات لأنه كان مهتم بتجهيز السيارة وحول على فئة جديدة هي فئة المبتدئين لفئة البرو. عام 2017 تأهل في تصفيات ريد بول كار بارك دريفت بعد ما احرز المركز الثالث. بشارك السائق عبد الله على سياره نيسان 350 زد.
And here we go. This is your first drifter from the hometown of Kuwait City. Getting that big hometown rush from this sellout crowd in attendance here. Through the figure 11. Coming around. The camera loses him a little bit, but we got it back. He's a little straight. He's going to want to tighten that up a bit. It's looking more like a street race at this point. As he gets into the first box, that barrel just was in the way. Go ahead now. Abdullah doesn't care about barrels. Getting some smoke off those tires. Smoke does count for points. Second box. You want to get it sideways. This one, for all the drivers, that second box has been much easier to handle, as they have more time to get up speed and try to get it sideways. A little slow around that donut. I think maybe he got a little lost on the track, not sure. It's easy to lose your direction. You're spinning around in these machines into the spiral. Abdullah Al-Jidi from the hometown here in Kuwait City. Will he get that last gate? He did.
عبد الله الجدي يعطيك العافيه على هذا الاستعراض الجميل والرائع من دوله الكويت. وعبد الله من الشباب البارزين في هذه البطوله، واللي شفناه يتقدم من بدايه التصفيات حتى وصل الى مرحله النهائيات. اذا جمهورنا العزيز شفنا مع بعض عبد الله الجدي، نسمع له تحيه. هذا الشاب الكويتي المميز اللي قدم هذا العرض المميز. ارجع لك مره ثانيه فراس ونعرف المتسابق التالي من وين راح يكون.
شكرا جزيلا لك عزيزي احمد. الان يتحضر السائق السياره رقم 7 من المملكه المغربيه ومن الرباط تحديدا عبد اللطيف منصور الملقب بالكاميكاز، لانه اسلوبه هجومي جدا في القياده. 30 سنه عمره، ابتدأ السباقات عام 2015 عبر بوابه الدرفتنج.
Driver number 7 drifting.
هو الوحيد طبعا بالمغرب لا يقام الكثير من سباقات الدرفتنج. احرز المركز
Called
الاول في السباق
Kamikaze.
الوحيد الذي اقيم هذا العام في الدرفتنج في المغرب، واول ايضا احرز المركز الاول في تصفيات ردبول كاربار دريفت في المغرب. 2016 كان الاول ايضا في سباق المغرب العربي الكبير. عم بشارك على سيارة مستأجرة من الأردن، هي سيارة البي ام دبليو اي 36 المزودة بمحرك 2 جي زد، تولد 550 حصان. لك أحمد الكلام.
يعطيك العافيه. واكيد راح نشوف المواهب الشبابيه والاستعراض. وقبل قليل ذكرت تحيه خاصه الى حكامنا، والحين مع بعض قاعد نشوفه يتاهل للدخول المتسابق عبد اللطيف منصور من المغرب. ودائما نتعود على ان شبابنا من المغرب عندهم مواهب فذه وامكانيات كبيره، ولكن الاسم اللي قلته قبل شوي ينم على ان هذا المشترك راح يفاجئنا بالمهاره اللي عنده خصوصا الاستعراض. وهذا الاستعراض يتطلب تكنيك معين باذن الله دقائق وراح يكون جاهز معنا. لكن ليش سموه بهالاسم مره ثانيه؟
Here we go, Abdul Latif. Gets through that first donut, and now the figure 11. A very challenging thing to get to right in the very beginning, keeping that car sideways. Not easy. Abdul Latif, not bad. Gets into this first box. Abdul Latif, I believe I said he was from Mauritius. He's from Morocco. Apologies. He's representing Morocco in that BMW. Did not get into that box or out of it the way he wanted to. Just misses that gate as well. This is not a great run. He's going to be wishing he had a do-over. Abdelatif Ist Mansour out of Morocco into that final spiral, trying to make up some points. No, that is not the way to do it. And he did not get that final gate. And there you go, we actually have someone nice enough to come out and lift it up so he can exit the track.
بالمهاجم او الهجومي لاسلوب الفذ من خلال استعراض ومن خلال الدرفتنج. المتسابق التالي من راح يكون معنا فراس وشنو ايضا يعرف عنه وابرز مواهبه.
بالفعل كما تابعنا اعزائنا المسار بحاجه الى تقنيات قياديه متقدمه، مهارات رائعه من السائق، ضبط اعصاب، تركيز كامل. الان اذا نحن بانتظار سياره 8 مع السائق القادم من جزر الموريشيوس شهزاد فغالي، اصغر السائقين سنا المشاركين معنا اليوم، عمره 20 سنه. ابتدأ كمان لاحق والده في السلالوم في الحلبات، اما الدرفتنج فابتدأها قبل 3 سنوات. افضل نتائجه في اول عام له في عام 2015 احرز المركز الثاني في بطوله الموريشيوس. عام 2016 سيارته محركه لم يكن محرك يتحلى بالقوه، فبالتالي لم يتمكن من تسجيل نتائج جيده. عام 2017 استبدل محركه الى المحرك 2JZ وتمكن من تحقيق المركز الاول. بينما في الموريشيوس يشارك على سياره BMW E30. اليوم راح نشوفه على سيارة نيسان سيلفيا استأجرها من الكويت من ناصر. المحرك هو SR20. قبل وصوله إلى الكويت تعطل محرك السيارة الأصلي، والآن هي مزودة تقريبا بمحرك قياسي ستوب.
His father watched him at the Red Bull Car Park Drift qualifier.
اللي قاعد توصلها لنا وكذلك على الجانب التقني اللي قاعد تقوله وكذلك التاريخ. وهذا التاريخ الجميل اللي قاعد نشوفه مع بعض. نشوف هذا المتسابق بدأ، وتحية جمهورنا العزيز المتسابق.
Into the figure 11, flying the Mauritian colors. Ooh, took out some barrels there from the figure 11. Now it's more of a figure 1. She's keeping it sideways pretty well. Again, not a race. All about the style here at the Red Bull Car Park Drift. He lost the momentum, unfortunately. But picking it back up, it's not impossible to recover from something like that. He just really needs to do well in these boxes, and that first one is difficult. And again, that barrel, he had no time for the barrel. Comes around behind the spectators here. The spectators cannot see this part of the track. They can definitely hear the car coming. To the next box. See if he does a little better this time. Hit that barrier. Took a pause. Shehzad Sorobali trying to get that gate. Yeah, definitely caught some track there. I think he got a little bit too much traction, was hoping for a bit more of a spin out. Missed the gate altogether. Into the spiral, hoping to make up some points. Yeah, he's keeping a little too much in the forward direction. Need a little bit more sideways momentum. At least get that last gate. Nope, didn't quite make it. Yeah, just throw her in reverse. You can get it. Come on. Nah. Next time, Shehzad. Out of Mauritius, Shehzad Sorobali, as we wait for those scores.
اللي شفناه وقاعد يؤدي هذا الأداء الجميل. وتحية خاصة لجمهورنا الكريم اللي مستمر معنا، وأذكركم أن ما زلنا في الجولة الأولى، وهذه الجولة اللي فيها 15 متسابق
just over halfway through now in
8 في الدور
round number 1 as we try to pare down 15 drivers to
الفوز في
8.
ظل الابداع بهذه المسابقه.
Only 8 drivers get to move through.
وشفنا مع بعض
We now
قبل
have
شوي محمود او
scores, 7 more
محمد
drivers to
سربالي
come.
شلون كان اداؤه وشلون تقييمك
See if
له؟
they can knock them down
بالفعل
and move on.
شاهدنا ايضا
Find out who becomes
السائق
king of
شهزاد
drift
فغالي
2017
من
at
مرشش
the
كما
Red Bull
ذكرنا
Car
على
Park Drift
سيارة
here in
نيسان
beautiful
سيلفيا.
Kuwait City.
على ما يبدو انه غير معتاد بشكل الكافي على قياده السياره. هذا السائق اللي
Perfect
كما
crisp
ذكرنا
day, about
بيشارك
16
على
degrees
سيارة
Celsius
من
now.
الكويت من ناصر سيارة سيلفيا، بينما هو في المرشش
Again, thank
يشارك
you for following us. If you're watching us, if you're streaming on YouTube, or Facebook, Twitch,
هذا السائق كما
or
ذكرنا شهزاد هو
redbull.com.
اصغر السائقين سنا معنا
Use
اليوم.
that hashtag
20
Red Bull
سنة،
Car Park
ومنذكر
Drift.
انه العام الماضي في النهائي
Huge thanks
الذي
to our sponsors,
استضافته
Falcon
العاصمة
Tires,
العمانية
Shop and Ship,
مسقط،
Total,
كان اللقب
and
في
PlayStation 4.
صالح السائق هيثم
A lot of people
الحديدي
getting their
اللي
inspiration
يبلغ من
from
العمر
PlayStation.
18 عام، واللي هو اصبح اصغر سائق في تاريخ سباقات نهائيات الريد بول بارك كار دريفت اللي بيحرز اللقب. احنا اذا اعزائنا
Rafat
في النهائي
اليحيائي.
العاشر
Rafat will be your ninth
طبعا
driver.
حاليا نحن
32 years old
بانتظار اذا سياره
from
السائق
Oman,
رقم 10
representing the country.
عثمان التكريتي، لانه السائق رقم 9 رفعت خلف اليحيائي سيارته غير جاهزه بعد. اذا احنا بانتظار احمد واعزائنا المشاهدين سياره رقم المتسابق رقم 10 من المملكه الاردنيه الهاشميه عثمان التكريتي. تحيه لعثمان يا شباب.
put up at the gate. Othman
احمد
Al-Takriti
يعطيك
out of
العافيه.
Jordan.
اكيد عثمان راح يكون متميز، وكذلك جمهورنا راح يوجه له التحيه الخاصه. شفنا الابداعات الشبابيه، ولكن رفعت ربع شوي راح يكون جاهز معنا. اذا عثمان التكريتي اذا كنت جاهز باذن الله ما نبي نشوف الا العرض المميز اللي شفناه قبل شوي من الشباب. شبابنا ابدعوا قبل قليل، شفنا انجازات، شفنا استعراضات مميزه، شفنا مواهب فذه من خلال هذه البطوله. فان شاء الله يا رب ما
That's right. He's only 23 years old.
خلينا نشوف مع بعض عثمان.
Not the youngest. Actually, Shahzad is the youngest. You just watched from Mauritius. He's 20. But out of Jordan, Othman Al-Takriti gets through that figure 11, putting out some nice smoke. Not a lot of drivers have been doing that today. Early on, we had smoke, but even the car itself, his car says smoke maker. Driving the BMW E46. Absolutely nailed that pendulum. That'll get you 50 points very easy. Making a lot of noise too. We're here inside the broadcast booth. I can hear that all the way up here. Not bad around that box. That first one is difficult. Coming behind us now, behind the track. Gonna head into that second box. Got a nice movement on that. That was about as well as you can do with that tight, limited space. Trying to get that gate. Woo! Just barely getting it. That will count. Othman Takriti from Jordan, 23 years old. Trying to make a big splash. Of course, last year, King of Drift was only 18 years old. It was Haitham Al-Hadidi out of Oman. Won it for the hometown in Oman in 2016 to become King of Drift. Into that final spiral. Very nicely done. That was an exceptional run. I believe he's going to do very well. Othman Takriti from Jordan.
هذا اعزائنا كان عثمان التكريتي
Wait for that
السائق اللي كان مفروض انه يطلع، وهو السائق العماني رفعت اليحيائي، سيكون اخر المنطلقين معنا اليوم. احمد، شو رايك بالاستعراض الرائع اللي شاهدناه من السائق الاردني عثمان التكريتي؟
للامانه استعراض مميز فذ، يعني شفنا ابهار، شفنا جانب من الاستعراض، كذلك التزم بكل المعايير والنقاط اللي كانت موضوعه. الاجمل عندما يخرج هذا المتسابق ليتفاعل مع الجمهور، لاحظنا ان الجمهور كان متفاعل معه، كانت يعني ايضا حركاته الانسيابيه من خلال الالتفاف وكذلك الانجراف كانت رائعه جدا، لكن الجانب التقني وكذلك العلامات والتقييم تبقى مع الحكام. المتسابق التالي من راح يكون زميلنا العزيز فراس؟
find out what his
السائق اللي راح
score was.
ينطلق الان السائق مصر من مصر احمد حماده على سياره رقم 11. اذا المصري احمد حماده سينطلق. وعثمان طبعا اللي شاهدناه كما ذكرنا 23 سنه سائق عنده العديد من الانجازات. لقبه السموك ميكر كان لعثمان. وحاليا نحن اذا بانتظار احمد حماده عمره 23 سنه. السائق المصري ابتدأ السباقات عام 2010 في الدرفتنج ويشارك على سيارة BMW E30 مزودة بمحرك 2JZ. أحمد حمادة إذا أعزائنا.
Zero that he is drifting today. Starts off with that donut. And into the figure 11. Putting out a good amount of smoke. Sometimes drivers in these competitions, in these car park drifts, they'll have a chemical on their tires to produce more smoke. Sometimes the smoke will be in different colors. He hit that pendulum very well. He has lost his rear bumper. That I'm not sure if that actually will cost you points or not. But the rear bumper is now on the track. He's going to revisit that here in a moment. It's just fiberglass. We didn't need that bumper anyway. Ahmad Hamada from Egypt. Car number 11. Took a little pause there. That will cost him a little bit. Nice donut. Not sure if he hit that barrier or not. Perhaps just a little graze. Going around to hit that. That's not easy. He did it well. Right into that donut. That was nice. That was a nice transition. He looks to finish up strong in that final spiral. Full capacity crowd here in Kuwait City, loving the sport. This is like no other motorsport. The car park drift is so fun to watch live. Hope you're enjoying it on the live stream across the world to our millions of followers.
شفنا مع بعض المتسابق احمد حماده من جمهوريه مصر العربيه. جمهورنا العزيز احمد حماده جمهورنا العزيز مره ثانيه. احمد حماده من جمهوريه مصر العربيه يستاهل تحيه اقوى من التحيه اللي كان يسمعها. تحياتكم وين له؟ فعلا يستحق هذه التحيه لدوره البارز والمهاره الجيده اللي كان يؤديها ودوره الممتاز.
Can only imagine he may have been disqualified. He may have had something happen during his run that disqualified him. He is at the absolute bottom and will not move on to the next round. No chance to qualify.
إذا معنا الآن أعزائنا سيارة رقم 12 من الكويت فهد جدعي.
I believe it may have been the pendulum that took it off.
على حد قول أصدقائه وأعضاء فريقه لأنه دائما موهقه ودائما موهقنا. إذا فهد الجدعي 31 سنة ابتدأ عام 2010 سباقات الدرفتنج مع نادي باسل سالم الصباح لرياضة السيارات. عنده العديد من الإنجازات. المركز الثالث في كينج اوف نيشنز عام 2016-17. بطل موسم قطر للدرفتنج المركز الأول 2015-2016. موسم 2014-15 في قطر احرز المركز الثاني وايضا الاحرز المركز الثاني هذا العام في التصفيات الردبول كار بارك درفت هنا في الكويت وبالتالي وصل الى النهائيات. يشارك فهد على سيارة نيسان 350 مع انجل وايز فور محرك 2JZ مزود بجهاز لشحن الهواء تيربو. بالتاكيد طبعا السياره قادره على توليد اكثر من 700 حصان. يعمل المحرك على الايثانول. السياره من تحضير كراج العملاق وكراج
400. That's incredible. That is an incredible score.
السيارة محضرة لتتناسب مع التاندوم دريفتنج. معايير ضبطها بالتالي مختلفة عن الدرفتنج العادي.
He was driver number 10 out of Jordan.
أيضا محضرة بشكل حتى تتناسب مع سباقات الفورمولا دريفتنج. إذا أعزائنا نحن بانتظار حاليا الاستعراض من سائق السيارة رقم 12 من دولة الكويت فهد الجدعي.
Top 3. Sorry, Zahalan, who started us off with a great score from Lebanon. 322 points.
يستاهل فهد تحية أقوى. وين التحية جمهورنا العزيز؟
So we get ready for the Kuwaiti. Fahad Al-Jadi did not have a great start. That donut, that first donut, I'm not sure what happened there, but he lost a little bit of control and knocked the tires around. Gonna be hard to get your momentum going again. But as he goes through the figure 11, looks like he's doing well. Trying to put that behind him and drift the best possible run he can do. The pendulum, very well. That'll be 50 points. Can't take that away from him. On to the first box as he gets in there very nicely. Actually, one of the nicest runs through that first box we've seen so far today. He's going to be kicking himself for that first donut, but maybe he can push on to the next round with a really good run here, and so far is evident. Box number 2. Ooh, unfortunately hit that barrier. Just a little bit too much speed, not enough angle. Goes up for that gate, hits the gate nicely. Getting some smoke off those tires, takes that donut nice and slow. Looked good. Into the spiral. If he doesn't take any cones out here and he gets that last gate, he could actually end up with a decent score, especially for such a catastrophe out of the gate with that first donut. Fahad Al-Jedi from Kuwait, 31 years old. Yeah, just not only took out the cones, but also took out the gate itself. That's not the way you're supposed to hit that gate, but and he lost his bumper, or at least part of it in the back.
والمبدع بهذا الجانب، وشفناه تأهل في كثير من البطولات وهو ما شاء الله غني عن التعريف بهذا الجانب، وكذلك شفنا تفاعل الجمهور معه. واعتقد قبل لا يبتدي استاذ فراس انت اعطيت نبذه تعريفيه كامله عنه وعن موهبته وعن ابداعه، لكن للامانه ابداعه مميز، وكذلك الانسيابيه، الانجراف، التفاعل مع السياره، الاجمل ان الجمهور متفاعل معه، وكذلك عشاق او متابعينه في هذه اللعبه دائما ما يحرصون يتابعونه ويكونون متواجدين اينما وجد. ففهد يعني مثل ما عرفته قبل شوي النكبه، اليوم كان متميز بابداعه ومتميز بالجانب الفني. يرجع لك لنتعرف ايضا على المتسابق التالي من راح يكون ومن اين، وتعطينا نبذه تاريخيه عنه وعن موهبته.
شكرا احمد. اذا اعزائنا تحيه كبيره نقدمها في هذه الاثناء لاثنين متواجدين معنا كضيوف شرف اليوم في الكويت، كل من السائق السعودي سعيد الموري الفائز في نهائيات ردبول بارك درفت لعام 2011 التي أقيمت في لبنان، وأيضا الفائز في النسخة الماضية السائق العماني اليافع هيثم الحديدي. تحية كبيرة إذا لكل من سعيد الموري وهيثم الحديدي ضيوف الشرف في سباق اليوم. أهلا وسهلا فيكم، نورتونا ونورتوا الكويت. حاليا احنا بانتظار احمد سيارة رقم 14 ايضا من دولة الكويت. معنا علي مخيصيد السائق البالغ من العمر 22 سنة الذي ابتدأ السباقات عام 2011، طبعا سباقات الدرفت، ولكن بداياته مع سباقات السيارات كانت وعمره 12 سنة في الكويت مع سباقات الكارتينج. ابرز نتائجه طبعا لعلي مخيصيد وهو مهندس صناعي، هو سفير أكاديمية الاتحاد الدولي للسيارات سابقا في بطولة الكينج اوف ديزرت في عمان عام 2016.
He placed first in the qualifiers here in Kuwait, Kuwait having 3 drivers. Thanks to them hosting the Car Park Drift this year, they get 3 drivers, as do the host country every year. Ali Maqsid
هو البطل خلال هذا العام، وأيضا أحرز اللقب في ردبول بارك درفت التصفيات التي أقيمت في الكويت على مستوى الكويت عام 2015. يشارك علي مخيصيد على سيارة تويوتا اكي 6. المحرك هو 2 جي زي. السيارة بقوة 800 حصان ويل هورس باور. السيارة من تحضيره ومن تحضير والده. صاحب الخبرة الكبيرة في مجال تحضير السيارات. عنده سبونسرز مودول للزيوت، كاربو للمقاعد، 965 اطارات ويست ليك، وبي سي ريسنج للسسبنشن. طبعا نعطيكم فكره اعزائنا
He
عن
says he
الفائزون
believes the podium will
السابقون
be topped
في
by
نهائي
all
ردبول
Kuwaitis
كابا
this
درفت
year.
ابتدأ في عام
We'll see
2008 في لبنان.
as you get a look
يعني
outside
كان على مستوى محلي اكثر من ما هو
the
على
track
مستوى
here
اقليمي.
in Kuwait.
في عام 2008 كان اللقب
Traffic is light
لصالح
outside. It's a
السائق
Friday.
اللبناني ميشيل فغالي. في عام 2009 في لبنان ايضا مع جارو هارتنيان. عام 2010 فراس خداج
Great
من
look from our
لبنان.
Red Bull drone.
في عام 2011 اصبحت الحدث اكثر اقليميه، وكان اللقب للسائق الموجود معنا اليوم واللي بنحييه السائق السعودي سعيد الموري. في عام 2012 كان اللقب اذا احمد
Ali Maxid. There's the
طبعا
Toyota
2012 محمد
GT86
الكخل من الاردن، وما شاء الله يعني الكل يتابع
drifting
ابداعاته
for
ومواهبه.
the
وكذلك
hometown,
2013 جاد هيمو من
home country
لبنان،
of Kuwait.
ومن سنه 2014 احمد دحام من العراق، و2015 ايضا هو نفس المتسابق احمد دحام من العراق، يعني سنتين على التوالي. الظاهر
And he
ان
is
المتسابق
off
جاهز. علي مقصيد، اخليكم مع ابداع
with
علي
the
مقصيد.
hometown advantage. Yep, that'll cost him a little bit. Bumping into those tires, into the figure 11 with his Toyota. Ali Maxi. Judging before the competition on the look of his style as he hits that pendulum and gets those 50 points. Ali's car, the look of Ali's car did very well. 38 of 40 points as he spins out and actually loses control against the wall. He will continue. That's gonna hurt his score tremendously. Can't take a break. Got to keep it going. Not only keep it going, but keeping it sideways. Coming around, getting ready for that box. Pretty good. Actually, really well done on that box. This gate, if he can get this gate, he could have something. Oof. He destroyed that gate. We may have to have an engineer come and fix that one up for the next drift. Into the spiral, Ali Maxid from Kuwait. Hoping for something big. Doing very well so far. Great job of avoiding everything. Hit and just missed that gate. Can he get on a second pass? He did. But I don't believe that's going to count. Didn't raise the flag.
اذا بذلك المتسابق علي مقصيد انتهى من الدوره مالته، وعلي من الشباب
Track
الكويتي
supervisor comes out to
اللي
lift
شفناه
it
متميز
and let
بالمسابقات
Ali
اللي
out.
قدمها خصوصا الفتره اللي طافت وبمرحله
He's gonna wish he had a second go at
وشفناه ايضا
that as
يلتزم
well.
بالتعليمات اللي موجوده
Ali
عندنا
Maxid of
خصوصا
Kuwait.
الانسيابيه والانجراب.
So wait
ارجع
on
لك مره
that
ثانيه
score.
زميلي العزيز فراس لنتحدث عن علي مقصيد وشون شفته وكذلك اداءه من خلال هذه الجوله.
Goes back to the paddock.
فعل
As you
شفنا
watch the
علي
replay.
مقصيد للاسف ما كانت التأدية ربما التي كان يريدها، ارتكب بعض الاخطاء القياديه اللي حتما
And
تأثر
checking the
عليه،
scores
ولكن
from
نأمل
Fahad
من
Al
علي ان
Jedi
يكون ايضا من ضمن المتأهلين للمرحله التاليه.
from
ايضا
Kuwait.
اعزائنا معنا
He is now
في
in the top 8.
المنصه
He
الرئيسيه
is
اليوم
6th
بتابع
with
السباق.
276
بنوجه له تحيه
points.
كبيره
Fahad
الصديق والعزيز الشيخ
الجدي.
عبدو نايف جابر الصباح، وايضا الشيخ سعود الصباح رئيس لجنه الراليات في نادي باسل سالم الصباح للسيارات. هذا النادي يلي عم بتولى وبتصدى بالكثير من المسؤوليه والكثير من الشكر للاعلاء من شأن والارتقاء برياضه السيارات في دوله الكويت. شفناهم عم بنظموا العديد من الاحداث، عم بنظموا الحدث المعترف فيه الوحيد من قبل الاتحاد الدولي للسيارات في الكويت، وهو رالي الكويت الدولي احد جولات بطوله الشرق الاوسط، وايضا دعمهم لعدد كبير من السائقين المشاركين سواء في الراليات او في سباقات الدرفتنج او حتى في ايضا سباقات الدراكسر التي تقام في المنطقه. ونحن طبعا اعزائنا في دوله الكويت على اعتاب
Ali now in 6th place. His score 281 points. 281 points.
في القريب العاجل في الكويت من تصميم المهندس الألماني هيرمان تلكي.
His fellow Kuwaiti teammate, Abdullah Al-Jadi, will bump him out of the second round. An unfortunate consequence. And now Noor Daoud, the only female now on the bubble, she is at 8 with 231 points. Hanging on, hoping for a pass to round 2 as we prepare for your next drifter.
نادي باسل السالم الصباح للسيارات وتحديدا بحلبة سرب وباذن الله راح نشوف المتسابق اللي راح يكون معنا من قطر ولكن الجمهور نسمع تحيه خاصه لأهل قطر وتحديدا لعبد الرحمن فخرو اللي راح يكون معنا موجود في هذه البطوله وان شاء الله يحقق انجاز جميل.
إذا تحية كبيرة أعزائنا لعبد الرحمن فخرو السائق صاحب الخبرة الكبيرة البالغ من العمر 30 سنة. ابتدأ طبعا سباقات الدرفتنج في عام 2015. أبرز نتائجه فاز مرتين في الردبول كاربارك درفت نهائيات في قطر عام 2016 و2017. في البحرين أحرز المركز الثاني في كينج أوف نيشنز موسم 2016-2017. المركز الثاني في الجولة الأخيرة. بشارك عبد الرحمن فخرو على سيارة نيسان سيلفيا. وطبعا هو بالعاده بيشارك على سياره فورد موستنج ولكن ارتأى بانه سياره النيسان سيلفيا افضل لهذه الحلبه لانه هذه الحلبه كما ذكرنا ضيقه بتحتاج الى سياره مقاييسها اصغر نوعا ما من مقاييس سياره الفورد موستنج وبالتالي نشوفه اذا عم بيشارك على سياره نيسان سيلفيا مزوده بمحرك امريكي. هذا السائق عبد الرحمن فخرو عنده عشق عنده حب عنده انتماء ولاء للمحركات الامريكيه وبالاخص محركات الفي 8.
30 years old,
امريكي ولا بغير عن امريكي. السياره اذا
in the 2017 Red Bull Car Park Drift here in Kuwait City.
كل ما هو مناسب لسباقات الدريفتنج سسبنشن كل شيء الى تزويد كراج في عنده تمويل من قبل اوريدو ايضا اللي هو المين سبونسر له والمحرك تبع السياره بيولد حوالي 550 حصان لعبد الرحمن فخرو يلي عم بيشارك ايضا تحت شورت كات 87 و87 الميلاد. عنده مشكله كان بسيطه عند الانطلاقه كان عم بينطلق على الجير الثاني او الغيار الثاني في علبه الدروس ما بيقدر يستطيع تعشيق النسبه الثالثه فمن هون كان لانه بحط ثاني بحاول يحط النسبه الثالثه كان عنده مشكله فبالتالي هو عم بيبدا على الجير الثالث. طبعا اماكن بكون عنده قوه اكثر من القوه اللي بيحتاجها.
يعطيك العافيه على المعلومات الجميله اللي قاعد تشوفها ولكن شفنا مواهب كثيره. هذه المواهب ابتدات من البحرين من الكويت راينا من قطر راينا ايضا من مصر راينا من المملكه الاردنيه. هاشميه تقييمك لها قبل لا ينطلق
waiting for this run. I believe the track is ready to go. I'm not sure what the situation is. We have had situations in the past of Red Bull Car Park Drift where a car just is not able to get going. See if we can get some information about
كنا
that.
شوي ايدنا على قلبنا اليوم الصبح لما شفنا انه الدنيا كانت مغيمه وكنا خايفين حتى من تساقط امطار.
Yeah, he is off. It looks like people around him perhaps a little surprised.
دولة قطر الشقيقة.
But he's on his way around that first donut into the figure 11. Hoping this first run can break him into the top 8. He's got to get 231 points or more to do it. Noor Daoud from Palestine doesn't hit that pendulum. That'll give him the 50 points. I'm sure Noor Daoud from Palestine back in the paddock right now, looking at this, watching this, hoping she can hang on to that 8th position and move on to the next round. And something did slow Abdul Rahman down there. And he hit that barrel. That will definitely cost him in that box. As he comes around on the opposite side of the stands here. Has a little bit of a tough time. Making lots of noise though. Hoping the second box treats him better than the first. Not bad. Did very well on that. Can he hit the gate? He does. Into the donut. And he will be off to the spiral to wrap things up. Takes a little bit more of a turn than he had to there. Maybe hoping for extra credit. Into the spiral now. is Abdelrahman Fakru from Qatar, excuse me. Hoping to avoid those cones and get that final gate. Well, he got the gate and a couple of cones. And that is it. Not sure he's going to be completely satisfied, but we'll see if he can get the 231 or more points necessary
على هذه الجهود
to
الجبارة
at
وعلى
least
هذا
get him
الإبداع
to the
المتميز اللي شفناه وكذلك على
next
المتعة
round
والتشويق
here at the
اللي نقلته إلى السادة
2017 Red Bull
المشاهدين.
Car Park
مو غريبة
Drift.
عليك لأنك مبدع بهذا الجانب وكذلك تعودنا عليك أن تكون مميز، وهناك وجوه شابة قاعد نشوفها مشاركة معنا اليوم حرصت أن تتميز بأدائها، بإذن الله نراها معنا بالجولة القادمة وتتأهل إلى النهائي. نرجع إلى الزميل لنتحدث أيضا عن جانب مهم جدا وهو التسابق القادم وعن أبرز المواهب اللي عنده مرة ثانية عزيزنا
wild card drifter, our second wild card drifter, and
ومن وين جاي؟ شنو
final drifter
وشنو معروف
of
عنه؟
round
لأن عندك
one.
الكثير من المعلومات.
بالفعل أحمد، السائق
شهاب
التالي سائق يأتي من إيران وتحديدا من منطقة الأهواز في إيران، اسمه شهاب بشاني دار، عمره 31 عام. ابتدأ عام 2010 عندما جاء للمرة الأولى عبدو فغالي إلى إيران هو وردبول وتحديدا إلى العاصمة طهران. قبلها كان اختصاصي راليات شهاب، وعبدو فغالي بحسب قوله هو اللي حببه بالدرفتنج. نتائجه في إيران على طول هو صاحب المركز الأول. يقول انه الدرفتنج في ايران لولا ردبول ما كان حدا عرف الدرفتنج، وهي بحاجه الى دعم متواصل من ردبول ومن نجمه المفضل عبدو فغالي. هنالك ايضا اعلمنا بشاب انه هنالك العديد من المتابعين والمشاهدين للدرفتنج وعددهم بالالاف، وحتى في كثير من الاحيان المدرجات يعني لا تتسع للجمهور هناك. بيشارك شهاب اليوم على سياره النيسان سيلفيا اس 13 مزودة في محرك 2 جي زد. طبعا 2 جي زد عم نسمع كثير هذا المحرك هو محرك موجود على سيارة التويوتا سوبرا، معروف انه قادر على توليد عدد كبير من الاحصنه، ايضا ريلايبل يعني فيه موثوقيه وجداره تشغيل قطعه متوفره بسهوله، وايضا ليس بالمحرك المرتفع الثمن. السياره اللي عم بيشارك فيها شهاب دار مش هي السيارة اللي بيشارك فيها عادة في إيران، السيارة مستأجرة من الكويت من أبو خالد من علي أبو عياش. شعوره بالمشاركة لما سألناه اليوم حكى والله ما بقدر أعطيكم رأيي لأنه شعوري لا يوصف.
Abdelrahman from Qatar, who is on the bubble, 274 points,
نقدر نعترض عليها، ما في أي شيء سلبي ممكن إنه
is watching this final drifter very closely. Shahab out of Iran.
الحدث الرائع واللي لا ينسى اللي عم بنشارك فيه اليوم.
تمام. إذا مرة ثانية نذكر بالمتسابقين اللي شفناهم معنا بالجولة بشكل عشوائي، راح أذكر أساميهم: من الكويت علي مقصيد، فهد الجدعي وعبد الله الجدعي، وكذلك رأينا نسيم سعد من تونس، وأحمد حمادة من جمهورية مصر العربية، ومن لبنان الحبيبة ساري زحلان، والموريشيا شهزاد سوربلي، ومن البحرين سلمان عبد الله وعثمان التكريتي، وكذلك رأينا رفعت اليحيائي وعبد اللطيف آيت منصور وعبد الرحمن فخرو ومحمد المنصوري من الامارات ونور داوود من فلسطين، وكذلك شهاب اللي راح نشوفه حاليا.
Out of Iran, Shahab flying the Iranian flag around that donut. Figure 11, making it look pretty easy. Not bad. Comes around. Nice, keeping that nice and sideways. See that form? That is exactly what you want in the Red Bull Car Park Drift. Barely nudges that pendulum. Didn't do it with style, but did it. I'm not sure if the judges will take a couple of points off that. It was more of a friendly tap. That first box, always challenging. I believe he hit that barrier just a little bit. That'll cost him some points. Needs to have a really good second half of this run in order to break into the top 8. Shahab Bishander from Iran. Second box. Nice, actually. little slow, but I don't think that'll count too much off. Hit this gate and hit it hard. You got it. This might actually get him in. If he can do this spiral, this final spiral is very important. If he can do that perfectly, I believe he will be in your top 8. And everyone from Iran on pins and needles now, watching, hoping Shahab can get into this final 8, move on, still have a chance of being king of drift. Keeping up a little bit of slowdown there, but looking pretty good. Hit that gate. I don't think he hit any cones, did he? I think he had a pretty good run there. I think he's going to be well into your top 8. And now, Abdul Fakru out of Qatar is the one watching and seeing if he's going to get a chance to drift again into round 2 as we wrap up your first round, the 2017 Red Bull Car Park Drift. I take that back. I was wondering where this driver went. We skipped number 9. I'm not exactly sure why the 9th driver was skipped. I thought perhaps it could have been a mechanical difficulty, but we do
بسطت سيطرتها
now
الواضحة
have
على
a run
المراكز
from
الثلاث
Rafat
الأول.
Al
يعني الأول الثاني الثالث في تصفيات مسقط العام الماضي كانت لسائقين عمانيين وواحد منهم طبعا كان السائق هيثم الحديدي المتواجد معنا اليوم واللي بنحييه. إذا احنا بانتظار خروج رفعت اليحيائي في هذه الأثناء 32 سنة إلى أرض الحلبة.
But now Rafat out of Oman, 32 years old, the Nissan Silvia, getting in there. He's obviously itching to get on this track. He did not waste any time to get going. He's having a pretty clean run. Nothing fancy, but keep it relatively sideways. Pendulum? Yes. Nice. Got a great looking car, great sounding car. He's got smoke. This is a good score so far. If he can do a decent box here. Not bad. Could have been better there at the end. It's a little straight coming out of that first box. Your final driver of round 1, I promise this time, Rafat Al-Yahya from Oman. Second box. Pretty good, actually really good on that second box. Second box has been the easier of the two. This is easy. Gets those gates, got them both. The donut. That looked relatively easy. Coming out nice. This is a strong run. Getting into that pendulum. Wants to keep it a little more sideways than that. There he goes. Coming around, bring it. It's nice. Not a cone misplaced. Hit that gate. That was an excellent run. I'm not going to say he's going to be at the top, but that was very well done. Rafat Al-Yahya out of Oman, 32 years old. Nissan Silvia. We will wait for his score as I check the leaderboard now. And your 16th driver, Shahab out of Iran. Shahab has made it into your top 8. He is in 7th place with 285 points. Shahab is in 100%. Now, as we await that score, that was a fine looking run. Now, I'm not a judge, but that was a fine looking run there by Rafat out of Oman. We will see where he places and he can make it into this top 8. Move on to round number 2.
ولكن النقاط اليوم صحيح مهمة، ولكن الأهمية ستكون في الجولة الثانية اللي هي رح تكون أسرع وأفضل 8 سائقين. بعد قليل طبعا سنعطيكم أسماء السائقين المتأهلين والواصلين معنا للجولة الثانية اللي كما ذكرنا رح تكون ل8 سائقين. بالنسبة لرفعت اليحيائي، رفعت أيضا عم بيشارك على سيارة نيسان سيلفيا الاستر ديل، المحرك كما ذكرنا 2 جي سي تيربو بيولد 871 حصان. السيارة من تحضيره وتحضير شقيقه رائد اليحيائي اللي هو يده اليمنى بالكراج سواب بيرفورمانس. ذكر لنا يحيى بانه هو وشقيقه حضروا تقريبا 75% من السيارات في عمان. عمان مستوى الدرفتنج فيها جدا مرتفع، ويتمنوا طبعا ان يصلوا الى 100%. هو ليس متفرغ يحيى بالشكل الكافي للدرفتنج بسبب طبعا تحضيره للسيارات بسبب الزبائن والضغوطات العمل، ولكن بحاول وقت السباق انه يتفرغ ويتدرب. يعني تدريباته معنا اقل من المفترض، ولكن بحاول طبعا انه يتدرب بالشكل الكافي. ايضا بكونه بحضر السيارات احمد يحيى، هذا الشيء بيعطيه بانه يفهم السياره، يفهم متطلباتها، يفهم الجانب خلينا نحكي الميكانيكي في السياره، براعيها. ايضا بيعرف مثلا مسار مثل هذا المسار كيف لازم تكون السياره معدله بشكل يتناسب مع المسار.
إذن بعد قليل سنشاهد 8 يتأهلون معنا الى النهائي. اوجه تحيه خاصه الى الحكام، هؤلاء الحكام المميزين المبدعين على راسهم خالد المضف، وخالد المضف اللي يملك اول رخصه قياده في الكويت بالاتحاد الدولي للسيارات، وطبعا حبه للسيارات كان طالب في بوسطن في الولايات المتحده في عام 2001.
Thus far, round number 1
completed
in the 2017 Red Bull Car Park Drift, driving the Nissan Silvia. Osman Takriti,
وكذلك
your second place.
والى الكسندر جرين شوك، شباب عندهم شغف برياضه الدرفت، وتحديدا الكسندر جرين شوك اللي كان معجب بسلسله افلام فاست اند فوريوس والعاب الفيديو وتحديدا نيد فور سبيد. وهذا الاهتمام خلاه ينطلق في مجال رياضه المحركات بقوه في عام 2007 ليبدا المشاركه في كل بطوله في مسقط رئسه وتحديدا في اوكرانيا. الى تحيه خاصه الى الشباب، وكذلك تحيه الى البطل العالمي اللي كان موجود معنا اليوم واللي كان يتابع الشباب اول باول ما شاء الله عليه في كل بطوله ردبول
out of the UAE, Mohammed Al Mansour,
ويحرص على ان ينقل
296 points and just making the bubble by 9 points.
شكرا لك سيدي احمد. نحن بانتظار فيديو سيتم عرضه بعد قليل، ولكن في هذه الاثناء سنحاول طبعا التحدث مع عبدو فغالي.
So here from the booth at the 2017 Red Bull Car Park Drift, we have 4 judges today. I'm joined here by one of them. What's your name?
My name is Elias.
And along with your brother, right?
Yeah, he's coming in a second.
Okay, Johannes is your brother.
Exactly, Johannes is my brother. We are the Red Bull Drift Brothers from Germany.
The Drift Brothers, all the way from Germany you came today.
Yeah, that's right. We are really happy to be here, and we are really enjoying what we see there. The level from yesterday is a lot higher from the practice runs. All the drivers are pushing really hard, and we're really excited to see the next run because I think it will build up like that and it will get better and better from run to run.
A lot of challenging things look to be coming from the size of the track. The track is really small, right? As your brother comes in now. Hi, bro. Hey, how you doing? This is Johannes. Talking to the Drift Brothers, they're both judges. What do you think the hardest thing thus far is, Johannes, that the drivers have been dealing with out there today?
One main thing also about Red Bull Car Park Drift in common is they get 2 laps of practice. So they get off the track with the judges, explanation of what we want to see, and then they have exactly 2 laps. So there's no margin for practice to try and drive an hour. Learning, no, they have to be spot on. They have 2 laps and then they go right into their qualification. And we have 2 really technical sections. One is from behind the building.
بس دادو عادة بالسباقات او بنهائيات الريد بول انه بكل جولة عم نشوف المستوى بيرتفع والحماوة والسخونة والإثارة والأداء بيكون أحلى وأحلى.
طبعا هيدا حلاوة الريد بول كار بارك دريفت، كل ما عم يتطلعوا هن على التراك، كل ما عم يعرفوا شو مطلوب منهم، كل ما عم يتعلموا أكثر، كل ما يساعدوا بعضهم ويتعلموا من بعضهم. كرمال هيك شباب أنا أكيد هلا بالتوب 8 رح نشوف بعد شو خيالي، ونحن بنروح نكون بعد الله راد بالفاينل فور. وبقول بيج ثانكس لكل الحكام
they've done their practice runs. They did their practice runs yesterday, correct? So did they get an opportunity to kind of check things out today, or was it just you're at the gate, go?
Exactly. They had their practice runs yesterday, and today they were again allowed to walk the track, but now they have to bring their A-game. It's game time already.
Do you have any favorites so far? I mean, I know you're judges and you don't have any favorites. Obviously, we just saw some very strong runs there toward the end, but is there somebody that you're looking at you think maybe might have a shot of winning King of Drift?
So the last driver, he was like super smooth. He had like almost no corrections, but he was
انا بدي اقول
close to
لهم
the
اول شيء
obstacles.
تحيه لكل الجمهور، الجمهور كله هذا من قلبنا حبيبنا، جمهور كثير كبير من الكويت بلدنا الحبيب، عم يجوا من الامارات، لبنانيه، اردنيه، من مصر، من وين ما كان، سو بدي اقول لهم برافو عليهم، التشجيع هذا كثير مهم، كثير بيساعد الابطال تبعهم. يلا جود لك. شكرا لك عبدو خالد.
is in the next round and don't make
إذا أعزائنا نحن بانتظار الإعلان عن نتائج الجولة الأولى من تصفيات ردبول كار بارك درفت لهذا العام.
Oh yeah, it is. You don't want to do that.
الفائزون السابقون في نهائي ردبول كار بارك درفت كما ذكرنا بدأ بشكل يعني قليل أو على مستوى لبنان البطولة في عام 2008. اللقب لأول مرة كان لقريب عبدو فغالي ابن عمه ميشيل فغالي. في 2009 كان اللقب في صالح سائق لبناني آخر هو جارو
line, precision. That's the key element you have to keep in your head. It's not so much about speed. We like to see it because it's drifting, right? You want to see it, but it's about line and precision. If you get the line right, you're going to be having a way easier day.
المركز الثامن في المركز الأول. المركز الثامن يعني السائق اللي راح يتأهل معنا للقسم أو المرحلة الثانية من التصفيات من إيران شهاب بشهندر.
And don't mess up pretty much. So
في المركز السابع إذا أعزائنا محمد حسن المنصوري من دولة الإمارات العربية المتحدة. في المركز السادس السائق الكويتي الوحيد الجولة الثانية علي المخاصي. في المركز الخامس بين النقاط من جمهورية مصر العربية الشقيقة أحمد حمادة.
So it's pretty unlucky, but she tried her best. We gave her some advice, and she really tried to keep the car somehow sideways, even with a short gear. But yeah, unfortunately, she's out already.
I thought she looked good. I thought she was in, but I guess it just didn't pan out for her. She was really close. She was on the bubble there for a while.
Yeah, she like Ali mentioned, like with the transmission being too short, she really struggled with the speed. She couldn't carry enough speed for all the obstacles. That's sort of what caught her, but really impressive. That also goes for all the other drivers, is how they adapted to all the circumstances. We had a discussion with them yesterday, a short briefing after the qualification laps, seeing what they're doing today in comparison to the qualification laps to yesterday. Really impressive.
And there's always next year, right?
اللي حصل على المركز
Elias and Johannes, they are the Drift brothers. They came all the way from Germany. Thanks so much, guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much for having us.
I think you guys have work to do. I think you have to get back to judging.
We have to punch someone up.
All right. Okay. Thanks, guys. Thanks so much. Yeah. So we're here in the booth. Yeah, guys. We're here in the booth. I don't even know what's happening now trackside. But we're hoping to get round number 2 underway. I do believe there was a 5-minute break between round number 1 and round number 2 as I check out the scores here with one of our judges. So these are the final standings that I'm looking at for round number 1.
رفعت اليحيائي نسمع له تحية كبيرة.
380 points, which is an excellent score. I believe that's a 400.
إذا أعزائنا السائقين الثمانية معنا من إيران شهاب بشهندر من الإمارات العربية المتحدة محمد المنصوري من دولة الكويت علي الخيصين من جمهورية مصر العربية
to the drifting action today here in Kuwait City.
من الجمهورية التونسية نسيم سعد من المملكة الأردنية الهاشمية عثمان التكريتي ومن سلطنة عمان أكثر سائق جمع نقاط هو السائق رفعت اليحيائي. إذن هؤلاء هم السائقون الثمانية الأوائل الذين سيصلون إلى الجولة الثانية من التصفيات.
New slate, other than the looks of the car. Again, looks of the car are very important. Rafat, who just had that incredible run to take the top spot, he also had what the judges determined was the best looking car. He got 40 out of 40 points. The look of the car is worth 40 points. He got all 40 of those. Ahmed Takriti also got 39. Ali Maxi with 38 on those cars. The first drifter, I'm told, will be out of the UAE, Mohammed Al-Mansouri. He will be the first driver to compete and drift in hopes of making the final four. Now we're looking for the final four. Again, thanks if you're joining us around the world. From our millions of followers, we appreciate you having us streaming live on redbull.com, on the Red Bull Facebook page, and on YouTube. I'm Brent Black. We've paired 15 drivers down to 8. One of them will be the 2017 King of Drift, the 10th King of Drift champion. We will take these 8 drivers and find 4. That's Mohammed Al-Mansouri from Ras Al Khaimah, UAE. Begins his run in round 2, and round 2 is underway here in Kuwait City as he gets into the figure 11. Is this the world's first figure 11? I think it might be. And he takes the turn, trying to keep that sideways and doing a good job at it. That's an excellent look. Great form on that turn. Hit the pendulum very well. And going into that first box, definitely the most challenging of these boxes is he has a little bit of noise trying to propel him through that box. Not quite the donut that he was hoping to get. As you see the sun starting to get low in the sky. Only 4 p.m. here in Kuwait City. As the temperature will drop a little bit. Getting into that second box. Love the style on that car. Those, if you can't hear those bangs coming out of that car, are intensely loud. Getting into that donut. That's a great run. He's actually having a really good run here if he can make this spiral work at the end for him. Representing the UAE, Mohammed Al-Mansouri. Got a cone there. That'll cost him 2 points, but he did get the most important thing in that spiral. He's getting the flag as he kind of gives it a nudge on the way out. I don't think that'll cost him. That's a good run. Let's see how well he does. Again, the scores have been wiped clean other than the look of the car. That score does follow you each round. So the previous points don't matter at all. It's all about the run you're currently in. And I say that was definitely a much better run in round 2.
قدم تأدية رائعة على سيارة نيسان سيلفيا اس 13 في إيران. بيشارك على 6 سيارات مختلفة للدرفتنج هذا السائق. السيارة كما ذكرنا مستأجرة، وطبعا هو أكثر من راضي يعني.
The 2017 Red Bull Car Park Drift. Huge thanks to our sponsors, Falcon Tires, Shopmanship, Total, and PS4. You take a look at Mohammed hitting those gates there.
يعني كجوكر. ورغم ذلك تمكن إذا من أن
These might look like cars you could take out on the road, and possibly you could expect to get pulled over by the police, though, if you do, because they are quite different on the inside. Shahab got a great run in heat number 1. Shahab out of Iran, he was the wild card, one of 2 wild cards, the only wild card to move on to the second round, and Shahab is off as we still wait for that first score. Mohammed Al-Mansouri from the UAE, 318 points, not a bad run. Is it enough to get him in the final 4? Only time will tell. Shahab making some very nice smoke out of his Nissan SX240. That pendulum, oh, just missed the pendulum. That's 50 points that he can just subtract to his score right now. That's gonna hurt, and that's gonna make it very difficult for him to make it into that final four. If he can have a perfect run, perhaps he can still do it. It's not easy. It's not easy hitting something with the back of your car where you're spinning around. These guys all seem to do it really well. Just occasionally we'll have a miss. And I know it's heartbreaking for them. Into that second box. He's having a really good run there. That was about as well as you can do on one of these boxes in these tight confining circumstances. Hit that gate pretty well. Into the donut, really nice smooth transition into the donut, and out of it, off to the final spiral is Shahab Bishandar from Iran, the wild card, trying to make the most of it. And he is going to be kicking himself for hitting or missing that pendulum. Hit a couple of cones there, that's 2 points each, but he did get the gate and off the second run for Shahab out of Iran. We'll wait for those scores. Things will move very quickly now. We only have 8 drivers in the 2017 Red Bull Car Park Drift. And this is the Kuwaiti Ali Maksi, the Toyota GT86. The more colorful cars here on the track today. He did very well in the pre-drift judging for the looks and appeal of the car. 38 points out of 40.
بيستحق هو وكل الثمانية المتأهلين للجولة الثانية كل الترحيب وكل التصفيق الحار على التأدية الرائعة اللي قدموها في الجولة الأولى. إذا 5 4 3 2 1
still has a chance to become king of drift, and he is off for round number 2. Around that first initial donut, he likes to hit those tires. I believe he did that in the first round. Maybe it's his good luck charm. Into the figure 11 and out of it. Did a really good job on that. Coming around that first curve, got to get some speed and some angle, and he does. Producing some nice smoke. That'll get him some points from the judges. Hit the pendulum very well. This in the first half has been a pretty good run if he just wouldn't have hit those tires in the initial donut. Unfortunately, he's gonna give it another try. Yeah, get back in there. You do that. If you fail the first time, you don't give up, you go back in. I like that. I hope Ali gets a little bit of a break on that, because he actually did that second run really well. But of course the judges are gonna penalize him for stopping and missing the first time. That's a nice looking turn into the second box. He's having a great run now. What a shame about that one missed opportunity. We'll see. Just a gate there. That's going to be a killer. He missed one of those 2 gates. A little slow down there around the donut. Everyone here in the stands hoping Ali Maksi can push on to the top 4 as the local hometown hero going into the final spiral. Revving that engine, trying to just keep that speed going. Lost a little bit of it there. Just nudged the cone, but did knock it down. And did not hit that final gate. Gonna be a disappointing run as someone from the track here. She has to go.
إذا تحية خاصة إلى الكويتي علي مقصيد على هذا الإبداع اللي شفناه مع بعض، والآن ننتقل معاكم إلى أحد الشباب المبدعين. واللي راح نسمع له اكيد تحيه خاصه.
Have to show off a little bit. He knows this might be his last chance, maybe to smoke some tires as we go to the replay. Wanted to show off a little bit. That's the great thing about these drivers. They all have fantastic personalities. They all are really passionate about what they've got going here. Really want to show off, especially Al-Maksi, hometown guy. He wants to be the king of drift. It's the only opportunity for Kuwait here to have a driver become king of drift in 2017. It was not a fantastic run.
لحظة مرة ثانية مو اتفاق مرة ثانية لما نقول جمهورية مصر العربية وعندنا متسابق نبي التحية توصل من الكويت لمصر التحية
fantastic run for him. And the score is in for Ali Maksi, 287 points. Will that be enough for the final four? It is not a great score, but you know what? We've got 5 drifters left to go. We get into the next run.
واكيد هو مميز وعنده ابداع ولكن الاستاذ فراس عنده معلومات
That is car number 11.
احمد حماده اذا ممكن تنقلها لنا بشكل سريع.
احمد حماده من جمهوريه مصر العربيه 23 سنه ابتدأ الدريفتنج سنه 2010. افضل نتائجه في عام 2016 في الردبول.
Ahmad, 23 years old.
احرز المركز الثالث وهذا العام احرز المركز الاول وبالتالي وصل الى التصفيات اليوم ممثلا لمصر.
Starts to get low on the horizon.
احرز 3 مرات المركز الاول على مدار عام 2016. اول مرتين العام 2017 5 4 3 2 1 انطلق اذا احمد حماده في هذه
15 or so degrees here in Kuwait City. Perfect weather for drift, keeping those engines cool. And Ahmad from Egypt is off on his second round run. Start off really well with that donut into the figure 11. It did that very well, putting off a lot of smoke, a lot of style, very smooth. I know the judges like that. We had a couple of the judges in here just a little bit ago talking about a nice, smooth run. You don't want to see a lot of jerking around of that car, and that's exactly what Ahmad's doing right now. See if he can get that pendulum. He did. Did it very well. I won't say it's perfect, but to my eye, this so far is a pretty perfect run. So I guess I did say it's perfect. I'm a huge liar. Not too bad out of that box, though. Did not get out of there sideways like you would hope to, but recovered nicely, getting these curves nice and smooth, nice drifting. Again, slow and smooth is better than fast and straight. This is not a race. Ahmad showing us what Egypt has got. Into that second box. Nicely done. This is a great run. If you can hit these 2 gates here, bang and bang. And now, after this donut going to the spiral, he's looking good. I'm gonna say this is gonna top the leaderboard if he can get this spiral. Perfectly well done and hit that gate at the end. Making the BMW sing. In that BMW E30 into the first spiral, into the second. Looks great. Didn't hit any cones that I can see. Hit that gate. That was a great run. That was a great run. We'll see what the judges think, but I do believe Egypt is going to be in the top spot. He opens up the door, says hi to everybody. He's got it. He says number 1. Will he be number 1? Will he be the king of drift? Let's find out what the judges think.
ومن كل خليجي وكويتي وعربي
إلى الشعب المصري very well with that donut. Wasn't really close to the donuts or the tires as some of the judges liked. The crowd is loving it.
بشارك على سيارة البي ام دبليو اي 30 مزودة بمحرك 2 جي زد بيولد حوالي 550 حصان. السيارة مجهزة في الأردن من قبل الجبالي. السبونسرز عنده اون سبورت اباظه اوتو تريد وريفتنج. اذا 5 ثواني على انطلاق ساري زحلان من لبنان.
And Sari Zahlan out of Lebanon already on his second run as we wait for that score. 367 points to take the lead. Ahmad Hamada Bakit from Egypt, 367 points. He is on top as we thought, as we watched Sari take his second run for round number 2. Have having a good run. He had actually one of the best runs of round number 1, and he continues. Car is sounding great. If you're in the stands right now, it's like gunshots going off. It is so loud, but they love it. He's putting on a nice run. The car looks great coming around. Sorry, in that BMW E46, representing Lebanon. Very well done out of that box. Gates, gate 1, gate 2, very well done. Into the donut. It's a highlight reel right now. Looking almost perfect. It's a little slow down, but that's okay. He still kept it sideways into that final spiral. Sari's car, the only car that was flown this year. This car was flown to the Red Bull Car Park Drift. Everyone else had it driven here. And he gets that last gate. That was a good run. He's gonna hear it from the crowd.
34 سنة من عروس المصايف عليه في
put him either in first or second place. We'll see. Sorry from Lebanon does.
ردبول السيارة من تحضير كراج تايمينج تك
بإدارة drift there into the paddock.
عنده سبونسرز برعاية بلدية عليه، شركة هيبكو للوقود، باك موتور سبورتس، إطارات هانكوك، وورك لبنان، وأيضا مكتبة جرير الرقمية للطباعة الرقمية. وننتظر الآن السائق نسيم السعد من تونس.
Nasim Saad gets ready for his run. We are looking at Sari's score right now. I'm trying to find out what's going on. I'm showing Sari only got 115 points, which puts him in 5th place. Something must have happened where he may have lost points on something that we didn't see here from the booth. We're going to have to find out if possible what happened there. If that's correct, 115 points for Sari. That is a huge disappointment, especially after watching such a solid-looking run. There we go. We've had a correction. Sorry, 353 points. 353 points for Sari from Lebanon. Sorry, Zahalan. That'll put him in 2nd place. So there you go. We just had to wait for our computer to update a little bit. We are with Nasim Saad out of Tunisia, driving the BMW E36, and he has had a problem coming out of that figure 11. He's shut down. He obviously had some sort of mechanical issue with that BMW. And they're just going to push it right on out. Well, it's convenient. I guess if it's going to happen, have it happen near the garage. What a shame. He had such a strong run in round number 1. Nasim Saad, Tunisia, will bow out of this competition. We'll try to find out what happened to that car. Sometimes things happen. These incredibly powerful cars can sometimes be fragile. As you see, it's trailing some sort of liquid. Bad news for Nasim Saad out of the 2017
أول خطأ هو آخر خطأ، وبالتالي للأسف نسيم سعد لن يكون من الواصلين للنهائي أو دور الأربع النهائي.
Round number 2, your top 8 of 15 finalists. Only the top 4 move on.
المتسابق التالي السائق الأردني عثمان التكريتي. 5 ثواني 4 3 2 1 وينطلق في هذه الأعطاء الأردني عثمان التكريتي.
Atman al-Takriti begins his run. Into the figure 11 from Jordan. Atman only 23 years old. The youngest left of our top 8, I do believe. BMW. Hoping to get, destroys the pendulum. That pendulum is going to be crying itself to sleep tonight. As Atman Takriti of Jordan pushes through the top 8, round number 2, around the backside of our circuit here today, and then back into the main drag. He's going to get into that box, try to get the very nice. Atman's having a really good run here. Gate number 1, swing around and get that second gate. These guys are making that look easy today. I thought that would be much more difficult with those 2 gates in succession. Atman, the smoke maker, definitely living up to his name. Into this final spiral to wrap up his second round drift. This run looking good. Threading the needle through these traffic cones, and can he get that last gate? He got it. He got it. I'm not sure that's the way he's supposed to get it, but they may have to move that out of the way for him. He had a great run. Too bad about that final gate. He is not laughing at that situation.
جمهورنا كريم، قبل أن ننتقل إلى النهائي في هذه الجولة آخر متسابق معنا. المملكة الهاشمية الأردنية تستحق منا تحية كبيرة لهذا الشاب اللي متواجد معنا اليوم على الجهود اللي قاعد يبذلها وعلى الإبداع.
A little bit of his rear bumper.
تابعنا عثمان التكريتي يلي يطلق عليه تسمية سموك ميكر أو صانع الدخان.
يعني سؤال استوقفني لي وللسادة الحضور، ليش اسمه سموك ميكر؟
لانه زي ما تابعنا حاليا اكثر سائق بيخلف دخان وراه في استعراضه هو السائق عثمان التكريتي، وهذه التسميه اطلقت عليه في النهائي ردبول كاربان درفت اللي اقيم في دبي عام 2013 وما زالت هذه التسميه ملتصقه فيه لليوم. وتابعنا قبل قليل عثمان على سياره البي ام دبليو اي 46 المزوده ايضا بمحرك 2 جي زي القادر على توليد 800 حصان. ال 800 حصان كلها وظفها لتقديم استعراض رائع يحبس الانفاس، والاهم انه كان مجددا صاحب كميه دخان تتصاعد من اطارات سيارته. السياره بنذكر بانها مموله من قبل الصياد في الاردن التابع للسائق الاردني اللي بينزل بالراليات ايهاب الشرفاء.
Rafat representing Oman.
صياد للتونه والاندومي. السياره ايضا من
Omani won the 2016 King of Drift title.
بيعتبر عثمان التكريتي انه الردبول من اجمل السباقات اللي بيشارك فيها، في ريسك كبير، في مجازفه، لانه كل المشاركين ابطال والسيارات من اكثر السباقات هذا من اكثر السباقات اهتمام عنده.
Third place, a great score,
المتسابق الاخير اللي
341
راح
points.
نشوفه بعد شوي من سلطنه
Positioning
عمان،
him
رفعت اليحيائي
in third.
اللي قدم لنا عرض قبل قليل كان عرض مميز. 5 4 3
Egypt, Ahmad with 367 points,
رفعت حياك.
everyone. As Rafat prepares for his second run, and he is off. 32 years old, hoping to make Oman King of Drift for 2 years in a row. Only one other country? No, we had a couple of countries repeat. We've had Lebanon repeat. They've got 4 championships. Iraq has 2. Kingdom of Saudi Arabia has 1. Jordan has 1. And last year, Oman. So Rafat hoping to repeat for his country as he hits that pendulum. Into the box. Not bad. Hoping to get a little more sideways out of it. It's a very tight fit. Coming around the backside of the circuit. Keeps it sideways pretty well. Actually, that's a good look for him out of that turn. Nicely done. Into the second box. Perfect. That was well done. Gonna hit these gates. He does into a donut. This is a nice run for him. Rafat, who had a great run the first round, doing it again. The spiral will mean everything, though. He's into it, the first round. Miss those cones and hit that gate. And he does. That was a great run. He's going to be very happy with that. رفعت اليحيائي.
يستاهل تحية رفعت اليحيائي على هذا الدور البارز اللي قدمه.
Representing
إذا تأدية أروع من السائق العماني يحيى خلف اليحيائي. هذا السائق اللي قام هو وشقيقه اللي بيعتبروا ايده اليمنى في تحضير هذه السيارة، وايضا حوالي 75% من سيارات الدرفت في عمان هي من تحضيرهم. السيارة محضرة بأعلى مستويات التحضير لتتناسب مع سباقات الدرفتنج. السيارة 80% منها كاربون فايبر. عرضة الكروز في السيارة سيكونشال كما تابعنا متزامنة. نشكر يحيى على الدوام الأهل على تشجيعهم المعنوي.
Shahab from Iran, Ali Maksi from hometown of Kuwait.
أحمد دحام على ديون السيارة وأعضاء الفريق سواب برفورمانس. السيارة كما تابعنا سيارة نيسان سيلفيا S13 المحرك 2JZ تيربو بيولد 871 حصان. طبعا بنذكر بأنه كما ذكرنا شقيق يحيى أو شقيق رفعت خلف اليحيائي وعائد اليحيائي كما ذكرنا يده اليمنى في السباقات.
Rafat اليحيائي from Oman, driving the Nissan Silvia, 376 points. He has a 9-point advantage. As we take a quick break, you'll notice this is not a drifting car, but yet a motorcycle. Julian Welsh, he's French. He's an amazing stunt driver, and he's going to be performing for the crowd here in Kuwait City as the sun goes down. I saw him warming up earlier. He is incredible. Just watch what he can do with this motorcycle. He has been a pro stunt rider since 2009. He's asked everywhere around the world, some of the biggest events, and he amazes everyone. It's an extreme, adrenaline-filled piece of entertainment we are promised. And he's the official factory rider for Triumph out of England.
استعراضات جوليان مسلية وفيها الكثير من عناصر الترفيه والتشويق. قبل 5 سنوات أصبح جوليان ويلش دراجاً رسمياً لصانع الدراجات البريطاني ترايمف إلى جانب شركائه. هو ممول من أهم الماركات المؤثرة في عالم الدراجات النارية على مستوى العالم، والتي تريد لمنتجاتها أن يكون اسمها وصورتها الإيمج مرتبطاً ارتباطاً وثيقاً بجوليان يلي يعمل على الترويج لها بطريقة ولا أروع. وأيضاً جوليان ويلش اللي عم بتابعوه أعزائنا حتى يضمن أفضل نوعية ممكنة لاستعراضاته، فإنه يشارك بشكل فاعل في كل نهائي لمسابقة أوروبية وأمريكية في الدراجات النارية في هذا النوع من الاستعراضات. تمكن من اعتلاء منصات التتويج في كل مسابقة خاض غمارها، واعتلى مرتين العتبة الثانية في سلم ترتيب بطولة أوروبا لمثل هذا النوع من الاستعراضات. إذن أعزائنا تحية كبيرة للدراج صاحب الاستعراضات التي تحبس الأنفاس جوليان ويلش.
See if he'll hit a gate or two on his run through this circuit. And there he's off.
حيوا جوليان ويلش يا شباب. تحية لجوليان ويلش الدراج البريطاني الغني عن التعريف.
Crowd enjoying it. Crowd wanting to see what he's got, what he can put out.
تخطف الأنفاس في مثل هذا النوع من القيادة في الدراجة النارية، واللي كما ذكرنا هي من نوع ترايمف. واو!
Oh, that was cute. Love that trick. Kickstand down off the
تحية
motorcycle.
خاصة لهذا المتسابق العالمي اللي عندنا اليوم واللي أبهرنا بهذا الجانب وخصوصا بهذا الجانب الاستعراضي. يستاهل تحية. قاعد أحييكم.
Working the crowd.
إذا بعد قليل حضورنا الكريم والجمهور العزيز راح نعلن معاكم النهائيات.
Thank you, Julian.
وكذلك راح نعلن
We'll see
من
you
هم
again for the
الفائزين
end of
الأربع
the
معانا اللي
2017
تأهلوا
Red
في
Bull Car
بطولة
Park Drift, I'm sure.
كار بارك درفت لردبول 2017 وهذا
Here
النهائي
live
الجميل
from
اللي بدأ في
Kuwait
15
City.
متسابق وبعد ما شفنا 15 واحد
Lights have now come
تأهل
on.
معنا 8 متسابقين واحد منهم تم استبعاده لعدم
Sinking.
مقدرته على استكمال السباق والآن راح نعلن معاكم أسماء الأربعة الفائزين ولكن بعد ما ننتهي من عرض الدراجة النارية اللي قدامنا يستاهل
Thank you.
تحية لأن
He
جاء إلينا
just thought he won King of Drift.
وتحديدا
He's
إلى
thanking
هذه
everybody.
البطولة اللي
Thanks,
شارك
guys.
في هذا الجانب الاستعراضي.
إذا أعزائنا لحظة الحقيقة السائقون الأربعة يلي وصلوا معنا للنهائي هم على النحو الآتي: في المركز الرابع بأكبر مجموع نقاط من المملكة الأردنية الهاشمية عثمان التكريتي. في المركز الثالث من الجمهورية اللبنانية ساري زحلان. وفي المركز الثاني
Your final four, رفعت اليحيائي of Oman,
اللي حصل على المركز الثاني جمهورنا العزيز
Ahmad Bakit
كما
from
ذكرنا
Egypt,
قبل قليل.
367 points, also had a
نبي
fantastic
نعلن
run
المركز
from
الثاني
Lebanon.
من
Sorry,
جمهورية
Zahman,
مصر العربية
353
أحمد
points, and
حمادة.
Ahmed
اسمع
50
التحية.
from Jordan, making it in 341 points. Actually, quite a differential between the fourth
الحاصل
and
على
fifth place.
المركز الأول
So
راح يتفضل أستاذ
we had
فراس
kind of an
يعلن عن
obvious final four in
المركز
that
الأول.
round.
3
Better luck next year for everyone
1.
else.
الحاصل على
Your
المركز
final
الأول
four.
هو
من
Coming
سلطنة
up next,
عمان
here's the
رفعت
2017 Red
اليحيائي.
Bull Car Park
إذا
Drift.
الأربعة الكبار كما كان
These are four
متوقعا
incredibly talented
وصلوا
drivers. It is going to be
للنهائي.
a
من
great
الأردن
final.
عثمان التكريتي، من
Do stick
لبنان
with
ساري
us as we
زحلان،
stream
من
live on
جمهورية مصر
redbull.com,
العربية
on the
أحمد
Red Bull
حمادة،
Facebook page,
ومن عمان التي تريد للعام
also
الثاني
on
تواليا أن تتوج
YouTube
بطلة لنهائي
and
ريد بول
Twitch.
كار بارك
Thank you
دريفت
so much
مع
for
رفعت
streaming with us. Make sure you
اليحيائي.
use the hashtag Red Bull Car
أربعة
Park
كبار،
Drift
أربعة
in
راح
all of your
يدخلون أيضا
social
في
media if
الجولة
you're
الأخيرة.
sharing with us
كل
today.
من عثمان
We thank you,
التكريتي
and of course
يلي
we thank
جمع
our sponsors,
341
Falcon
نقطة
Tires,
في القطعة
Shop and
الثانية.
Ship, Total,
ساري زحلان
and
جمع
PS4. As you get a look at
353
the crowd
نقطة،
loving
وأحمد
it.
حمادة
This Kuwait
جمع
City crowd
367 نقطة.
on a
أما
Friday
السائق اللي
evening
جمع أكبر عدد من النقاط
really enjoying this.
السائق القادم من سلطنة عمان الشقيقة.
It's a
كل الدول
motorsport
المشاركة
like
معنا
no
شقيقة،
other.
كلنا أهل
You will
وكلنا
not see
أخوان
this
وكلنا حبايب.
anywhere
السائق
else.
العماني
You have hometown heroes.
رفعت اليحيائي. رفعت أول شيء بده يرفع
People who built
المركز
their
الأول،
cars
هذا
out of
هو
their
الهدف.
garage from the
ويحيائي
ground
بده يحيي
up,
طبعا الحلبة اليوم
wanting to
ويشعل
be
الحماس في نفوس كل
the
المتواجدين
king
معنا
of
اليوم،
drift.
سواء داخل أرض
This is
الحلبة
their
أو
opportunity,
المتابعين بالسباق عبر منصات
Only Red Bull has
التواصل
given it for the
الاجتماعي.
last 10 years now. This will be the 10th
تحية
King of
خاصة للشباب
Drift.
اللي شاركوا لنا اليوم واللي تواجدوا معنا في
first
15 متسابق.
3 King of Drift championships were crowned in Lebanon. The fourth was in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Actually, the winner was Saudi. It was also in Lebanon. The first 4 King of Drift championships held in Lebanon.
وشفنا مع بعض الشباب
And it moved to
المتميز.
Jordan in
راح ننقل لكم
2012.
النهائي بعد شوي. عندنا 4 متسابقين من
On
الأربعة
to Dubai for
سيكون
3 years,
اختيار
from
واحد
2013 to
سيكون هو بطل
2015.
ريد بول كار بارك درفت لسنة 2017
Oman last year,
وتحديداً
the
بالكويت،
youngest King of
واللي
Drift champion,
تضم نخبة من
Haitham
الأبطال
Al-Hadidi,
والمميزين في
18
هذا
years old,
الجانب. ولكن
18.
جمهورنا العزيز قبل
Did
ما
not
نبتدي،
qualify this
نبي
year
نسمع التحية الخاصة
due to
لشباب
mechanical
الأربعة اللي
problems.
تم تتويجهم وصلوا معنا إلى
in
النهائي.
his
تحية
home
وين؟
qualifier of Oman.
إذا لازم نحييهم دولة دولة. جمهورية مصر العربية، جمهورنا من مصر وينكم؟ اسمع التحية.
Final 4.
ما شاء الله عليكم. يبدو أن الحضور من جمهورية مصر العربية.
Final
نتأكد.
four, Rafat
اللي
Al-Yahya
من المملكة الهاشمية الأردنية. تحية وين؟
Oman is currently leading all drivers. Atman Tukriti, you're from Jordan.
طيب خلونا نسمع
Sorry, Zahalan
التحية من
from
دول
Lebanon.
الخليج وتحديدا إلى رفعت اليحيائي. وين تحية
Third
الخليج؟
place, but again, these scores don't matter because we start over. Ahmad
إلى لبنان
Bakit from Egypt,
نسمع
the
التحية
fourth driver.
لساري زحلان. وين اللبنانيين؟
They will carry
تحية
only their
خاصة
scores
لساري زحلان.
from the prejudging of the car looks. They will only carry those scores with them to this final round of the Red Bull Car Park Drift. And here
أول المنطلقين معنا الآن في الرباعي الأخير. الرباعي النهائي.
We will not get scores. We are not allowed to see scores in this final round. Gives a little bit of drama. We like to have a little bit of drama in this final. To find out who indeed is the king of drift. As the 10 car, Atman Takriti of Jordan, begins our finals here in Kuwait City of the 2017 Red Bull Car Park Drift as he's through the figure 11. Definitely one of the cars with the most style, the most smoke. He even has it written there right on the side, Smoke Maker. Atman Takriti, hoping to bring Jordan the crown, King of Drift 2017. The pendulum gives it a nudge, looked good. One of the louder cars, I would say probably the loudest car, and the judges do love that. Not exactly the exit from that first box that he wanted to get, coming around the backside of the course, putting out much smoke, keeping it in beautiful form, nice and smooth. Looking very nice. Just skimming where those tires were. A perfect run around that second box, much better than the first. He'll try to hit these two gates coming around the outside. Not sure if he got that first gate. Definitely got the second. That'll be something for the judges to figure out. Around the donuts and coming up to that final spiral. Will it be enough to get him in first place for King of Drift? There's nothing for second place. Looking good so far around that spiral. Getting into the inside, a little bit of drag there. Was hoping to be a little more smooth. He did hit that last gate very nicely. And there you go, Atman Takriti of Jordan, only 23 years old. And showing off a little bit of his smoke-making abilities there. He knows he had a good run. Will it be enough? Time will tell, because we will not get scores. We will not get scores for this round.
إذن تحية خاصة مرة أخرى إلى الشاب الذي جاء من المملكة الهاشمية الأردنية عثمان التكريتي.
Track now absolutely covered in rubber. And it actually makes the drifting easier when the pavement is covered in this rubber. It gives them a little bit more of the contact on the road that helps drifting
لأنه تعرف بعض السائقين ما بيحبوا انهم يكشفوا كل وراءهم في البداية، وايضا مستوى التركيز في البداية بيختلف عن النهاية. حاليا الطلعة هي طلعة اكون او لا اكون، الطلعة هي طلعة بحجم بطولة، فبيخلي بضبط سيارته وبضبط امكانياته، بيخلي كل شيء للحظة الحقيقة هي اللحظة. وهذا الشيء ايضا متوقع من كل السائقين الاربعة اللي رح نشوفهم اليوم. عثمان التكريتي قدم تأدية افضل الان، وهذا الشيء رح نشوفه ايضا
And here we go in the number one car, representing Lebanon.
العماني رفعت خلف
Sorry,
اليحيائي. أربع
Zahalan.
سائقين كلهم أبطال وأربع ثواني.
Sorry, Zahalan, ready to go for this 2017 Red Bull Car Park Drift Final, and he is off. Driving that BMW 316. It's not about the engine size, it's about what you can do with it, especially these tight tracks. This is a very small course. And driver skill means far more than engine size. And Sorry makes that figure 11 look pretty easy. Just the smallest mistake can be disaster at this point. If you hope to become the king of drift, he gets the pendulum very well. As he comes around the center of this track, right in the middle, into the first box, he did not hit that box the way he would hope to. That was not a great look for him. Wasn't much of a drift there. He's gonna wish he could do that again. The backside of the circuit. Sorry, Zahalan from Lebanon. Getting into the second box. not too bad. Gate number 1 missed, gate number 2, that is probably going to do it, I would imagine. Unfortunately for Sari, he's going to make his way to the spiral. And he knows he did not have the best run. His first 2 runs were fantastic. This one, not quite making the mark. Into that spiral, almost as if he knows that what he does here isn't really going to matter too much. A little slow, missed that last gate. A little help, please, to get us out. And there he goes, Sari Zahlan from Lebanon. I know a lot of people right now disappointed in that run.
والآن ننتقل إلى متسابق جديد أيضا أمتعنا بالجولات اللي
so much pressure on these drifters. They not only have their own career they're looking out for, they have an entire country watching, the entire world watching. We thank you for streaming us live on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, and at redbull.com. It's the 2017 Red Bull Car Park Drift.
23 عام
Crowd is ready.
الدرفتنج عام 2010
They want to see who's going to be
الماضي احرز المركز الثالث في ردبول كار درفت مصر. العام الحالي المركز الاول وبالتالي وصل الى النهائيات.
As we wait for
مصر للدرفتنج
our next drifter in this
احرز
final
المركز
4.
الاول 3 مرات على مدار عام
Getting the track
2016
ready to go again.
ومرتين هذا العام، وايضا احرز المركز الثالث مرتين هذا العام. عام 2017 الباتلز اوف ذا ويلز اللي اقيمت في مطار الساحل الشمالي العلمين احرز المركز الثالث. سيارة احمد حمادة اللي راح نشوفها بعد قليل هي سيارة البي ام دبليو اي 30 محرك 2 جي زي بيولد حوالي 550 حصان.
Very excited crowd here in Kuwait City. A little breezy today, but did not keep people away. It's such a fun event, and there we go. Car number 11, Ahmed Hamada out of Egypt, driving the BMW E30 PM. There we go. All of Egypt watching right now. Nice pass through the first donut into the figure 11. Making some nice smoke. Looking good, sounding good so far. He's going to be happy with this if he gets around this corner. Needs to get a little bit more sideways. There he goes. Nicely done. The pendulum, 50 points, easy. Has not been a problem. The pendulum has actually been in a very good spot for this entire day. Box number 1, which has been challenging. Not bad, not great though. Didn't get quite the sideways motion that he was hoping for, but in the backside of the circuit, very nice. Coming up on box number 2. Looking pretty good. That was a pretty good pass through the second box. Okay, open those 2 gates. Swinging around and made those look easy into that donut. Ahmad Hamada of Egypt coming up for his final spiral of the 2017 Red Bull Car Park Drift. He's going to have an absolutely perfect run here. And that gate is already up. I'm not sure what happened with that gate, but it was already up as he entered. It looked like he would have definitely opened that gate himself. He had the right motion, he had the right position. I don't know if there was some sort of technical difficulty with that gate. I'm gonna have to give some clarification to the judges, but I believe he would have definitely hit that gate on his own. It happens sometimes. Not a perfect science, a lot of wind here. Kuwait is a very windy day. We will not get a score as we wait for our final
الأخير
drifter of the
من سلطنة
evening.
عمان الشقيقة رفعت خلف اليحيائي.
Rafat Al-Yahi from Oman had the highest score in round number 2.
يملك كراج خاص
From the Nissan
لتعديل
Silvia.
وتجهيز سيارات الدريفتنج.
Rafat is going to have the run of his life.
المشاركة في سباقات الدريفتنج عام
King of
2004. سائق من أبرز السائقين في سلطنة عمان.
Here in Kuwait
عم
City.
بيشارك كما ذكرنا على سيارة قام بإعدادها إلى جانب شقيقه اللي بيعتبره يده اليمنى رائد اليحيائي في الكراج اللي بيملكوه سواق برفورمانس. 75% من سيارات عمان كما ذكرنا يتم تحضيرها من قبل المرآة الأخوين اليحيائي. شكر خاص إلى الأهل. 5 4 3 2 1 وينطلق في هذه اللحظة السائق العماني.
Representing Oman, hoping to repeat for Oman as King of Drift 2 years in a row. It's never happened before. Through the figure 11. Get a nice pass through it. Looking great coming around that curve. That was fantastic. What a great smooth motion sideways. Pendulum is hit. This is looking like a king of drift right now. Can he keep it up? This first box, not bad, but not perfect. That's been a challenging one. Around the backside of the track. Looking good, keeping it nice and smooth. A little bit of an adjustment there. That'll lose him a little bit, but not too bad. He's having to reposition himself in his second box. That was very nice. He's been great at that all day. His third run here. He's got to hit both of these gates. So much depending on each and every move now. Is Rafat Al-Yahi from Oman, heading toward destiny perhaps, the final spiral. If he can do this perfectly, and again, I'm not a judge, I'm gonna say you might be looking at your new King of Drift. A little bit of a slowdown there. You can feel the pressure. He doesn't want to hit any of those cones. Each one of those will lose you 2 points. Around the front, and got that gate. That was a great looking run. And he knows it. The crowd knows it. Great response here. Great response in Kuwait City. And the Omanis love it. They think they have their new King of Drift. Do they? We'll find out in moments as we wrap up the 2017 Red Bull Car Park Drift.
الجمهور العزيز مرة ثانية قبل لا نحيي منو تتوقعون اللي يفوز بالمركز الأول؟
We began with 15 drifters from 11 countries. Qualifications all over the Middle East and Africa. It all comes down to this. There can only be one King of Drift. Who is it gonna be?
مرة أخرى تحية خاصة لكم جمهورنا العزيز على التواجد معنا.
Will it be an Omani champion, a Jordanian, Lebanese, Egyptian? Those 4 countries watching on, hoping that they have a new King of Drift here in the 2017 Red Bull Car Park Drift. We're moments away from finding out as the judges put together their final tallies and present them to the officials. Been a perfect day here at the Red Bull Car Park Drift in Kuwait City. Will we have a repeat winner from Oman, or will Lebanon, Egypt, or Jordan come through with the victory? all day we've been getting scores as they happen, but the judges like to keep this one a secret until the final, as they will bring out the drivers. And we will see who celebrates. See Abdul Faghalli there, chatting to himself in his phone in the blue hat. He's a drifting legend from Lebanon. He started us off today with a nice little cruise around the circuit.
خالص الشكر لكل منسوبي واعضاء نادي باسل سالم الصباح، المتطوعين، الجنود المجهولين اللي لولا مجهوداتهم اليوم.
Once again, thank you so much for joining us. Live, streaming live around the world on redbull.com, on YouTube, on Twitch, on Facebook, on Red Bull Facebook page. Thank you so much
هذه الحلبة الرائعة اللي احتضنت
for joining us.
اليوم واللي كانت بحجم النهائي الرائع اليوم.
This event is like no other in motorsports. If you like it on streaming, you must come and see one in person sometime. A big thanks to our sponsors, Falcon Tires, Shop and Ship, Total, and PS4 for making everything today possible. And there are the trophies. I believe they are as heavy as they look. There are different awards, yes, for the best smoking of the tires. And these are regular street tires. You might have a little bit of chemicals put on them for color or to make a little bit more smoke, but they don't use racing slicks.
الجولة الأخيرة الختامية كان نهائي بالفعل رائع ورفع الراس. شو بتحكي لنا؟
انا هذا اللي سبق لي وقلته هلا اونلاين فراس، انه اوريدي اللي وصلوا على الفاينل فور هن ابطال من الابطال الموجودين، اربعتهم ساقوا سياقه خياليه. المفاجاه كانوا هن احمد حماده من
waiting to find out who's going to be celebrating.
عن جد برافو عليهم كيف قدروا يوصلوا.
Where is the party tonight?
لعثمان تكريتي ولرفعت من سلطنه عمان انه يتاهلوا على الفاينل.
Is it going to be in Lebanon? Is it going to be in Oman or Jordan or Egypt? Where will the party be? We can guarantee there will be a party in Kuwait. We know that for sure.
بين اثنين اللي هن من سلطنة عمان رفعت أو من الأردن في عندنا عثمان.
عبدو فغالي, drifting legend, gets interviewed trackside.
عبدو اليوم بغض النظر عن الفائز، الروح الرياضية، رياضة السيارات في المنطقة هي الفائز الأكبر، لأنه مستوى الدريفتنج عم نشوفه سنة عن سنة تطور، والأربع سائقين اللي وصلوا على النهائي بيمثلوا 4 دول مستوى الدريفتنج فيها كثير كبير وكثير مرتفع، إن كان بسلطنة عمان، الأردن، مصر أو لبنان.
هذا اللي نحن دائما عم نقوله، قد ايه عم يعلى هالمستوى، وكله هذا بتكلفه كثير قليله. بتعرف فراس قوانين ريد بول كار بارك دريفت بتخلي انه الدريفترز ما يعملوا انفستمنت كثير كبير بالسيارات، لانه مش الكل معهم بادجت كبير لحتى يحسنوا. كلنا نعرف مشكله الراليات قد ايه بتكلف. كرمال هيك عم نقول له
Kuwait as we wait for the announcement.
الاعلاميه اللي عندنا اياها عم نشوف قد ايه هالمستوى عم يعلى مره عن مره، قد ايه عم يتحسنوا دريفترز. والجمهور، الجمهور احلى شيء دادو، الجمهور اللي بياخذ العالم بدي اقول لهم انا شكرا على وجودكم معنا كلكم هون، شكرا على هالحماس اللي عندكم اياه، ويلا ان شاء الله هلا كلنا ناطرين على نارنا نعرف مين هو البطل لهيدي السنه ان شاء الله.
اذا عم نقترب اكثر واكثر اعزائنا من لحظه الحقيقه، لحظه تتويج السائقين.
جمهورنا العزيز، قبل ان نتوج الفائزين معنا، تحيه خاصه للاربعه اللي وصلوا معنا للنهائيات: رفعت، يحيائي، احمد حماده، ساري زحلان وعثمان التكريتي. لكن سؤال لكم جمهورنا العزيز،
every year across the Middle East and Africa, Red Bull gives the opportunity for these drifters to come and qualify. You don't need to spend a lot of money, but you do have to have some skill. That's the beautiful thing about this competition. Homemade heroes.
طيب إذا من المملكة الهاشمية الأردنية
What they all dream about is this moment right here, being in the final 4, being able to represent their country, families.
اللي راح يعلن النهائي معنا
Final 4 are introduced one final time.
النهائي والفائزين معنا وتحديدا بالمراكز الثلاث الأولى.
إذا أحمد، قبل تتويج السائقين الثلاث الأول عندنا جائزة مخصصة للكينج اوف سموك أو ملك الدخان، أكثر سائق قام بإصدار الدخان من إطارات سيارته، وهو السائق علي مخصيد من الكويت.
Ahmad Hamada from Egypt.
علي مقصيد من الكويت كينج اوف سموك راح يحصل على جائزة من اطارات فالكن الكويت اللي راح يقدمها له كل من السيدين عمر الغنام وعبد الله الغنام. نطلب من الاستاذ عمر الغنام والاستاذ عبد الله الغنام من فالكن الكويت تقديم جائزة المركز الأول لكينج اوف سموك لعلي المقصيد.
Find out, was it a close finish? We did have a couple of drivers who put on a pretty fantastic final run.
بدنا جائزة كينج اوف سموك إذا بعد الانتهاء من أخذ الصورة الجماعية. علي مقصيد نرجو منك التوجه إلى البوديوم إلى المنصة لحصولك على كأس كينج اوف سموك أو ملك الدخان في نهائي اليوم.
Some of the ceremonial activity goes on trackside.
إذا تحية خاصة إلى علي مقصيد وإلى كل الشباب. علي
وصل تحية لعلي يا شباب. ألف مبروك.
ألف مبروك لعلي مقصيد هذه الجائزة اللي حصل عليها ولأنه من الشباب الكويتيين المميزين يستاهل هذا الدعم.
Other awards are bestowed.
اسمع تحية لعلي مقصيد على هذه الجائزة اللي حصل عليها.
وعلي بيستلم الجائزة من السيدين عمر الغنام وعبد الله الغنام ممثلين لإطارات فالكن الكويت.
إذا قبل الختام تحية خاصة لضيوفنا الكرام وكذلك إلى رعاة لهذه الفعالية والتي جاءت برعاية الشيخ علي فواز الصباح وبتنظيم نادي باسل سالم الصباح للسيارات إطارات فالكن شوب اند شيب توتال في اس 4 ومن الكويت نيسان البالطين بنكوبيان ترولي اقوى دراج 965 والان معا سنرى تتويج الفائزين بالمراكز الثلاث الاولى.
في المركز الثالث اعزائنا من جمهورية مصر العربية احمد حمادة.
There's your Egyptian driver, Ahmad Hamada. He's only 23 years old. Put on a great performance today. Getting the crowd into it.
من جمهورية مصر العربية.
He's definitely got some fans here in Kuwait cheering him on.
اللي يشجع الأردن اسمع تحيته وين؟
نطلب من السيد لوران
نسمع تحية وين؟
مدير العام لشركة عبد المحسن عبد العزيز البابطين وكلاء سيارات نيسان في الكويت تقديم كأس المركز الثالث للسائق أحمد حمادة.
Ahmad taking his bow. I'm hearing it from the fans here.
إذن المركز الثاني تعلن عنه فراس ولا لا؟ جاهز ولا لا؟
The Omani fans. Some Omani fans there are still hoping for their drifter.
الثاني يتم إعلانه الآن.
رفعت
تتوقعون من الأردن ولا من عمان؟ أردن ولا عمان؟
Will he be the king of
إذا من الأردن خلاص بعد تحية. طيب وإذا من عمان؟
إذا السيد لوران كورني مدير العام لشركة عبد المحسن عبد العزيز البابطين يقدم كأس المركز الثالث للسائق أحمد حمادة من جمهورية مصر العربية.
Ahmad picked up an award of his own.
والمركز الثاني نطلب من السيد فؤاد سليم مستشار متحف السيارات التاريخية في الكويت التقدم إلى المنصة لتقديم كأس المركز الثاني للسائق الأردني عثمان التكريتي.
This is your second place finisher from Jordan.
المحاذي للحلبة يقدم كأس المركز الثاني
so he has taken second place. And that means the Egyptian was in third place. Ahmad Hamada. That's why he's standing there. I should have figured that one out myself. So now we wait. Now we wait. Is it going to be Lebanon? Is it going to be Oman? Who is going to be your king of drift? Rafat, اليحيائي from Oman.
نايف الجابر
He zips
الصباح
up.
رئيس اللجنة العليا للراليات لنادي باسل
He's your king of drift 2017, and he's having a little trouble with his zipper. But he's going to get that up, and he's going to get on top of the podium because he is now the king of drift.